And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the Rex April Madness Playoffs, day number 1. I'm, of course, host VIP, and with me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chats, and by my flashies as well. Welcome, one and all, to our second broadcast of the day. We were live earlier this morning with the Biggest Star Monday, and now we're here. We're live with the Rex April Madness. Here we go. This has been a month-long event for the entirety of the month. We have been going through the group stage, and now we're here with the playoff brackets. Here we go. We have our top 8 players. We have herO, Zoun, Clem, Rogue, Bunny, Solar, MaxPax, and Classic. We have our top 8 players here that have made it to the playoffs. Again, went through the group stage throughout the course of the month. I do recommend the VODs for the group stage, but now we're here with the playoffs, and we have our first series, our first best of 5 of the broadcast. And spawning in the right-hand corner of herO, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing his new team, Team Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the other South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing his new team, Team Vitality. It is Zoun. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we jump into our best of 5 PvP. Again, tonight we have 4 best of 5s. Basically, the entirety of the quarterfinals is going to be casted and streamed here for you live on the channel. And in 2 days' time, then we get the semis and the finals. The semifinals and the finals are going to be in 2 days' time. Tonight, we have purely the quarterfinal matches. 4 best of 5s. Let's go, man. Let us go. For now, we're going to be loading into herO. herO is going to be the smallest map in the tournament map pool. It is the rush map as well, known for aggression, known for all-ins, and we'll see if our players do indulge in that. As already, we do have Zoun sitting up on the low ground, going for a gate into Cybercore into expansion. Meanwhile, herO is sitting up on the high ground, but I believe going for the same build, going for a gate, Cybercore into Nexus as well. This looks like the beginning of Phoenix Wars, assuming both players open Stargate. Cybercore is now on the way for herO. Cybercore also on the way for Zoun. You can see herO, he is attempting to expand, but Zoun so far is on patrol. He is delaying said expansion, and we do see a Zealot force out from herO. So already Zealot is going to be forced out. We have Zealot from here, we have Zealot from Zoun as well. So far so good. Mirrored build. herO does have the high ground setup, but overall the build itself is the same. So the same build, just a different setup, different way of going about things. Zoun will have a much more secure natural with the Sim City, with the wall off. herO's own natural is going to be more open and more exposed. Cybercore about to finish up. We should be seeing pylon blocks here from our players, and we should be seeing Stargate. Speaking of it, there it is. Stargate from herO, Stargate from Zoun. Again, the reasoning why this was the beginning of Phoenix Wars is because both players are going to be delaying each other's expansions. Because they cannot expand, they have to spend their money some way, somehow. And that money is spent on the Stargate. So that's a good. herO the first to expand, the first to run the Nexus. Meanwhile, Zoun not too far behind. And again, because both players scout each other, because herO just saw the Stargate, Zoun did not see the Stargate, but he can assume the same. We should be seeing Phoenixes. We should be seeing Phoenixes, and we should not stop making Phoenixes. Now, herO earlier yesterday, we did see herO versus MaxPax. herO did have a dominant performance against MaxPax with Phoenix Wars when it came to the Sky Toss kind of setup here. And herO, he's going to embrace that again. We'll see if Zoun can compare. We'll see if Zoun can put on a better showing than MaxPax on Monday. Let's go. So far, we are going to be setting up. Phoenixes are going to be building up as we speak. So far, we have mirrored builds. We are even on the Phoenix count. But there are a couple of different ways you can approach this here, of course. You can try to catch your opponent out of position. You can try to catch, as already Zoun rushing across the map. Oh, calm down. Zoun moves out. He has to pull all the way back. And now, when it comes to this setup here, there's some certain timings that are available. The first one is here. The second Stargate is on the way. Because of the faster second Stargate for Zoun, that means he will have a faster additional Phoenix and faster Phoenix production here. Greater Phoenix production compared to herO. herO shouldn't be too far behind with his own Stargate, but again, this one is just very early for Zoun, and we'll see if he's able to take advantage of that timing. So, cheeky move here out of Zoun. Stargate is almost done. herO is still only making one Phoenix at a time. Ooh, and we see why. He's going for a Stargate Phoenix opener into a ground switch. This is very difficult to pull off. Now herO, he is heavily reliant on Zoun being passive. If Zoun is passive, if Zoun is too tentative, too defensive, then herO will get away with this, what should be a Blink Stalker transition. But again, it's going to be heavily reliant here on Zoun just giving herO time, and Zoun shouldn't. But we'll see. Of course, herO, he has a reputation, true. I mean, herO, he is the best Protoss player in Korea, arguably the world as well. So there's that kind of intimidation factor at play, I'm sure. Here he moves down. He's got 5 Phoenixes. He's down a Phoenix. Nice stacking here from Zoun. Does move out. So here he does poke in. Zoun trying to set up. And so far, Zoun is stacking, and Zoun does have a massive Phoenix lead at this point. He's going to be up, I say massive, he's still so far up 1 Phoenix, but he's still producing more behind this. Oh, he's supply blocked. Brutal supply block for Zoun. That is going to heavily slow him down, actually. Yeah, the supply block is brutal. We have the fleet beacon on the way. And you know, here comes herO coming in with sentries, coming with stalkers. And again, herO, he should be further behind when it comes to Phoenixes. But that supply block, it tells me that here he's only down 1 Phoenix. He's only down 1. He's camping the production. Shield battery's on the way. There's a Guardian Shield, and he's going for the pylon. He's going for the kill, going for the production. And the pylon, it's going to fall. And Zoun can't do anything. Not anymore. He can win the battle in the sky, but it may not matter. Here moving in. Again, still has that ground support. Shield battery's almost done. Boys are being pulled. Here he has to kite back. Checking the trades here. Here he will lose all his Phoenixes, down to 1. Final Phoenix goes down. And here he's going to be cleaned up. But how much damage is he dealing here? It's going to be 9, 10 worker kills, more stalkers. They do rock up as well. And herO, he's done it. At this point, he has done it. He has crippled Zoun. And again, Zoun, the supply block was just at the worst moment possible. Just at the most brutal moment. It meant the Zoun, he just couldn't be active. He couldn't be aggressive. As another Phoenix falls. Again, that's going to be 24 probe kills. And herO, again, he has done it. So GG gets called. herO just reinforcing 4 stalkers at a time. And herO takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Very impressive play there by herO. Very quirky all-in. Essentially, that was a 2-base all-in. herO hitting a strong timing there with 4 gateways to reinforce his Phoenixes. It was just very unfortunate that Zoun, he got supply blocked at the wrong moment, so he was actually not as far ahead as he should have been with his Phoenixes. As a result, that meant that fight was just even worse for him. He had even less to defend, was overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. It did strip away the ability for Zoun to be aggressive and to be active on the map. And with that, herO takes game 1. herO does take game 1. Here we go. What are going to be Cloud 9000 giving the number of PvP fights? I mean, again, Phoenix Wars have always been like a commonality in PvP, especially when it comes to MaxPax getting involved. Specifically, I mentioned this before, but PvP has had a meta shift coming into the new patch ever since October, November of last year, and since then, Phoenix Wars have been more common because MaxPax openers, or these more economic openers, have become more common as a result. They've all become more common. And here we go. We're now loading into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Killer's Mile, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, leading the series 1-0, representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss, the other South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. Our Phoenixes will blot out the sun. Exactly, Pappy, exactly. Let's go. Let's go. So players are building up and settling in. Now, coming into Killer's Mile, as opposed to the other maps, here it is going to be, I was going to say it is going to be more difficult to get away with an economic opener, but considering the ramp coming into the natural, I mean, there is a pretty wide open choke point here on the left-hand side. So I would imagine 2 gate openers. I would imagine. We'll see. I mean, herO, he is one to cut corners. There it is, 2 gate opener out of herO. And 2 gate opener out of Zoun. Okay. So far, so good. So we do have our 2 gate openers. Again, this map is not really as conducive to those more greedy builds. I mean, again, that's another big factor, of course, is the maps. The maps, they actually play a big role into whether or not Phoenix Wars are going to be seen, just because some are more or some are less kind of accepting to that kind of style. And less viable. But the big one here, of course, is the fact that there's no ramp coming into the natural, as it is more accessible here to the aggressing player, so not as safe to open up with a Stargate and open up economically. And now though, again, 2 gate openers, we're still waiting for our 2 units of choice. We can open up double adept, double stalker, stalker sentry, or sentry expand. What are we going for? Cybercore is done, and we have our double stalker opener out of Zoun. Meanwhile, double adept out of herO. Let's go. Now with the double adept opener here, he's going to be the aggressor. He's going to be zooming across the map. He can reinforce this with a 3rd and 4th adept, and even a 5th and 6th adept as well. He can go up to 6 to zoom across the map to deal economic damage. We'll see how hard herO does commit. Regardless, he is initially going to be set aggressor. Zoun is here ideally to scout, to figure out what exactly is going on and what is coming his way. As the double stalker was confirmed, so here he's aware. Double stalker into a Stargate. Okay, Stargate before expand. Meanwhile, herO double adept into double stalker into a more delayed expansion, but it is going to be Nexus before tech. There it is. There's that Nexus. So here he'll have the greater economy. Meanwhile, Zoun will have potential for harassment with that Oracle opener. That's going to shade in. So far they are denied. God damn it. Here we're going for his own Stargate opener. Now, if both players scout each other, then we should start Phoenixes. But for the time being, neither player is fully aware of what's going on. herO has not seen the main. Meanwhile, Zoun hasn't seen the main base either. They're both playing Stargate, but both, unbeknownst to each other, are playing Stargate. So it should just be Oracles. Should just be Oracles here. Now, I'm sure comparing herO, he should be aware that his base is slightly faster. That might be a bit of a tell. Oh, he does spot this. He does spot this, does intercept. Nice pickoff. Oracle, it does zone away. Oracle zone away, and there it is. Phoenix for herO, as now he knows about the Stargate opener. Now he's aware. Nice force field, locking down the army. Takes down one of the stalkers. But he will lose everything else here. He does try to trade, but this is a better trade for Zoun. herO getting caught out. That was not the play. Adepts do shade into the mineral line. They get 1 probe. Not even. There's nothing here. Oracle gets across the map, and so far Zoun getting better trades. Picks off 2 probes. Zoun, he defends back at home. He reset the sentry count. Phoenix is hunting down the Oracle. The Oracle does not get away. And the Oracle is hunted down. Does go for the recall, and it will barely escape. Whew. Barely recalls in time. As herO is still rallying across the map. Now, because of the high stalker count, because herO lost all those sentries, I don't really see herO doing much damage here. I mean, Adepts have potential. No, they shade in. Adepts, they shade into the main base. They will commit. And they can one-shot probes. They get 1, they get 2. They only get 2. 2 probes go down. herO shades down to low ground. Likewise, getting caught out. Adepts do fall. And behind this to catch up here, he is going to be opening up Immortals. So Immortals are a really good way. If you do know that you're down in Stalkers and down in Blink and just down in Army Supply, then Immortals, they do make up for that. They allow you to do a lot with a little, I should say, with a... Oh, I see Oracle will distract. Does even force a warp in. So it's hallucination. But it is a way to recover, is a way to kind of bounce back and make use of your limited supply. So both players are expanding, taking their 3rd bases. Phoenix into the main. said main base. Likewise here behind this. Just building up. Building up on 2 bases. Again, here he's going to be the defender as he's just building up his immortals, getting to charge, working towards +1. Zoun is heading in a similar direction. The game is slowing down. Just by calming down, Pappy. You're calming down. From here, our players are just getting into their now 4th bases. Again, just a really passive setup here. I mean, partly because herO was overly aggressive and the aggression failed. Again, to reiterate, herO, he lost his Stalkers, lost the Adepts, he lost his Sentries as well. Like, it was a really rough start for herO. So it makes sense for herO to be stuck at home and stuck defending. I would say that the onus would have been on Zoun to have been a little bit more active in the aftermath of the failed aggression. But Zoun, again, just playing it safe instead. Playing it safe, playing it more secure, close to the chest. So I do place this a little bit more on Zoun. You know, we have the Bay on the way. herO going to be cutting corners, going straight into disruptors. Now, when it comes to the tech path of our players and kind of the direction that we typically go in, it is going to be Charger into Archon Charger Immortal into Archon production. That's typically the direction that you go in coming into the mid game, which is what Zoun has. We can see though that herO, he delays his Archon production in favor of the Bay, which gets scouted, and in favor of disruptors. Again, disruptors, they are a good way to, again, just kind of skip tech, and they're the ideal kind of even mid to late game unit that you want here in PvP. It is risky just because now there's an extended period in time where herO does not have Archons, but Zoun isn't really being aggressive, right? Like, Zoun is being more passive, so here he gets away with the disruptors. So here he cuts corners, and now he will have a greater army as a result, as the forces of Zoun are very vulnerable to Purification Novice. At this point, I wouldn't even be opposed to a second robot for double disrupt production from the side of herO. Disruptor has arrived. Now, Zoun, checking his vision, remember, he did scout the base, so he knows, and his answer, Phoenixes. Okay, this is a good alternate answer. I say alternate. Typically, the opposing Protoss player would go into their own disruptors, so we'd have disruptor wars instead, like disruptors versus disruptors. Instead, we can see Zoun is going into Mass Phoenix with double Stargate Phoenix production, and that'll be his answer to those disruptors, to lift the disruptors and to deny the Purification Novice. So, bold move. Meanwhile, here is moving out. Supplies are neck and neck. herO does poke in. Never going to be going off. Never goes off. Nice lift. Oh no, I missed it. Oh my god, that was close. Jesus. Does lift the disruptor. Yeah, with that Zoun, he will take the fight to a force back herO. He has a greater concave. The better engage, even picking up one of those immortals. And herO is just getting picked apart here. Losing immortal after immortal. I mean, both fights just went south here for herO at the start of the game, and here towards the mid game as well. Zalsu trickle in. Never goes off. Does connect. Okay. Does connect, but here he's down to 1 immortal. It's not going to be enough. Yeah, it's nowhere near enough here. Just 1 immortal. It's going to go down. Archon as well. And here he has nothing remaining. Just nothing remaining here. That was just not the fight to go for. Lost everything in the process. We have 1 more disruptor coming in. Once again, gets lifted. Here he's just up against the wall at this point. Now he does reinforce with charge slots, and Zoun does not have any Archons remaining. No Archons yet. But he just reinforced more Zealots. And there we go. The Prism has arrived. He can just keep warping in, keep reinforcing. And Zoun looking to fight back. Looking to try to claim in game 2 here. Again, here he had a strong showing in game 1, but coming into game 2, there was some shaky moments for herO. Did bring them up earlier, and here he just was unable to recover. He was overly aggressive. Now he's got his Colossus, but that's it should not matter. Zoun trying to chase him down. Can't quite get on top of the Colossus. Here he kites back well. kites back to the shield batteries. Archon's still moving in. Let's also go for another dive. And the Phoenixes, I mean, they're kind of tickling the Colossus. They're helping in their own way. They're doing what they can. It's still a bit of an awkward assault here from Zoun. There we go, lifts one of the Stalkers. Command got just ceasing whatever he can. Crowd controlling. Oh, the Immortals are going to be going down though. Again, herO, I mean, thanks to the shield battery, thanks to some of the side defense here. Does pull off a defense, getting up to 2 Colossus. Okay, herO, he's holding on. Despite the rough fights here, these Colossus have been doing so much in the back line, and we mentioned the Phoenixes, they don't really do much here. They just tickle the Colossus. They can't lift them, they're already in the air. They're already lifted. Meanwhile, Skytoss, Jesus, Zoun just tacked up even further. He skipped Disruptor straight into Skytoss instead, into Carrier. Getting ready for the late game of PvP. Now, Carriers, they are a very niche unit in PvP. They do quite well in certain circumstances, specifically if you are ahead in tech. If your opponent has Skytoss, if your opponent has a Fleet Beacon and Stargates, then you don't want Carriers, you want Tempest. But if there are no Stargates or Skytoss units from your opponents, then you can get away with just Carrier. Which the counter to that would be Tempest, and then you have to make Tempest yourself, and then it's Tempest versus Tempest. So Romite does deny, does force a cancel. But here just hyperfixated on a ground-based army. And I mean, it's quite an army. He's up to 4 Colossus. Ay, ay, ay. It's built up to 4. Now moving out. Meanwhile, there's so far 2, soon to be 4 Carriers. Zoun, he needs a little bit more time. And he's about to max out. He's almost there. So that's causing a distraction. Here moving in. Pushing up the ramp. Carriers are revealed. And where's the anti-air? Remember, there's no blink. Yeah, there's no blink for these Stalkers. They cannot get under the Carriers. Not easily, I should say. Gee, the Colossus, they just rain down on the Crown Army. The lasers are insane. And the Carriers have no support. The Carriers are exposed. Has to pull back. More Stalkers warp in. The Archon support as well. And here he's breaking through. He's breaking through. Carriers, I mean, they can be good, but they do need that ground support. Ideally Disruptors, but there are none. Yeah, Disruptors are the key unit that Zoun is missing. As the Immortals, they go down one after the other. herO pushing forward. Once again, trying to get under those Carriers, and he will. There we go. 1 Carrier goes down. He gets 1. He gets 2. And herO, the comeback, like herO, he took some really rough fights this game. He was down, but he was not out, so the Colossus was the answer. And what's the counter to the Colossus? Typically Disruptor. And Zoun, he skipped it. Remember, he skipped Disruptor tech going straight into Carrier, and we saw that just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it in the end. Carriers on their own, they need that supportive ground army, and there just was nothing. There was nothing there. Not against the Colossus. And wow, I'm impressed. I mean, the tenacity of herO. Again, herO, he was losing his army. He was up against the wall. He was forced all the way back to his bases, but no, he was able to buy time, build up his Colossus, and yeah, from here, herO is just outscaling Zoun. Crazy. And sure, I mean, Zoun, he still retains his 4 Carriers, but as we mentioned before, like without any support for the Carriers, and they don't really mean anything. herO's moving out. Going for another massive warp in. Zoun trying to push forward. Nice kiting by herO. Just getting free shots off here on the Archons. And he dives in. This time he dives in. Blink is done. GG gets called. And herO, he will claim game number 2, taking a 2-0 lead. GG. That was crazy. GG, well played. herO, he was down and out. So once again, I want to reiterate what we just saw. You can actually see it right here. Here he's the red line, by the way, and here he plummeted in supply, plummeted quite hard. I'm shocked that he was able to survive the push and survive and buy time and build up those Colossus. And again, you saw that those Colossus, they were ideal. They shut down the ground army, and the Phoenixes that that Zoun was relying upon were useless. They were useless against the Colossus. They were doing a great job just picking up and lifting disruptor after disruptor. But against the Colossus, they really just didn't do much at all. They couldn't really deal much critical or really meaningful damage to the Colossus. Likewise, they had a hard time actually finding any kind of crowd controlling units as well. GG. GG, well played with that. herO takes a 2-0 lead, and here he is one game away from claiming the entire series. Now, I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping for Zoun to fight back and put a point on the board and extend the series here. I mean, he was close. Like Zoun, he was so close last game. Just barely didn't get there in the end. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can bring it back. Up next, we're loading into Sandworm. Let's go. Loading into Sandworm. Sandworm being another one of these smaller maps. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Sandworm, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss, the South Green Protoss, leading the series 2-0. It is herO. After a crazy comeback in game 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Green Protoss player, the other South Green Protoss, representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. We go. So players are settling in. And again, Zoun, he was looking so good that last game. I'm loving the scouting out of Zoun, his reaction as well. He confirmed the disruptors. He was able to completely nullify the disruptors as well. He had some good fights, he had a good showing. But unfortunately, it did kind of slip through his fingers there. It took him a little bit too long. He wasn't able to deal any critical damage when he got across the map. And likewise, here he did buy enough time for those Colossus. And it wasn't just that. I should emphasize as well that Zoun, he did make the decision after he was kind of running out of steam. He actually still had a greater economy or a comparable economy. And remember, he used that economy to transition into what? Into carriers. And we saw that carriers was just not the answer there. We spoke about how carriers have their place and they definitely have their strengths in PvP, especially coming in towards a longer and later game. But as we clearly saw, without any disruptor support, so the carriers on their own, they actually don't do much. Not against that kind of robust army that herO is working with. So I was quite able to pull that off. Oh. Got him. As we are settling in. And again, what I was getting at was, of course, that Zoun, he didn't quite... I mean, he had the option, if he wanted to switch into disruptors, if he so chose to. Did choose to skip that, and in the end, I would say was punished for that. But now, though, do have our 2-gate openers all around. So double gate or 2-gate Stalker here, double Stalker from Zoun. Meanwhile, we do have double Sentry out of herO. Speaking of triple, Jesus, opening up triple Sentry. It's crazy. It's a lot of sentries. I was waiting, when it comes to my response, shout out to Kanoya, by the way. Kanoya, he's a French caster. I was waiting for one of the others to respond. Oh, we went for it. It's all good. Big shout out to Kanoya. So far, nice. Oh my god, the force fields are insane. With that here, he locks down both the Stalkers, and he will eventually get one of them. Barely one. Whew. Takes down one, the other is recalled in time. And Zoun gets the hell out of there. Does pull out. Behind this, both players going to be working towards their Twilight Councils, mirrored builds for the time being. I mean, I say mirrored builds. Of course, the initial units have been different, as here is heavily reliant on the sentries early on. With that, we'll have plenty of hallucinations, plenty of scouting, plenty of vision across the map. There's the NG overcharge. Here he's pushing. Now, this is a deadly force early on. The reason why this force is so deadly are the force fields. This early on, there's no blink. Like, sure, we have a Twilight Council, and we're probably going to be working towards blink. But right now, blink is a non-factor, which means force fields hold even more power here than they otherwise would. Speaking of hallucinating a couple of stalkers to just tank some shots, and again, ideally looking to lock down the army and force field the hell out of Zoun. Speaking of, Zoun does have his own kind of force fields. He locks down 2 hallucinations. Aye. The force fields are solid, but unfortunately he caught the hallucinations instead, and with that, Zoun has less engine to work with. With that herO, he's looking to move in. Zoun setting up a proxy. Zoun, he's on 2 gates so far, getting a 3rd. This looks like a 4th gateway across the map. This looks like a 2-base all-in. Does look to be a 2-base all-in here from Zoun. herO going for the center gold. Bold move. Goes down a couple of force fields. Trying to catch out one of those stalkers. Looks like he may be able to. Gets a couple of volleys off, but last that was a lot of force fields spent for herO. He pulls away. He doesn't get what he was looking for. Hallucination confirms the 3rd gate. He knows, at least he's aware of the 3-gate setup. What he doesn't know is there's a 4th gateway across the map. So again, 2-base, 4-gate, blink all in here from Zoun. herO is rushing into the 3rd, rushing into the gold. On top of that, very greedy play by herO. And we'll see if Zoun can punish that greed. Here we go. Zoun, he's up in stalkers, as he should be. herO, he's aware of this. He has shield batteries on the way. The shield batteries, they may be enough to help support him and help make up for the lack of stalkers. Also, did I say 2-base 4-gate blink all in? It is 2-base 5-gate blink all in. That's a lot of gateways. That's a lot of gateways here for Zoun. Zoun pushing forward. Moving into the army, takes out 1 stalker already. 1 stalker goes down. Here he has to fall back to the shield batteries. Shield batteries, they do top him up. Pushing up a ramp, pushing into a concave. herO, he's out of energy. He's out of energy on the shield batteries already. herO pushing forward, and more warpins on the way. There's the NG overcharge, not bad. herO barely maintaining himself, blinking on forward. But there's just still so many stalkers. Yeah, just so many stalkers for Zoun. Zoun, he should overwhelm. He should, and he will. Again, here he was just too greedy, far too greedy. Rushing into the gold of 4 bases. And Zoun, he's done it. Again, Zoun came so close to taking the game in game 2, but here in game 3, he is looking secure. Depowers the shield batteries, going for the kill. This time, there is no comeback potential here. We do have an immortal on the way for herO, but one immortal is not going to be enough. It should not be enough. Where's it being pulled? herO kiting back. He wants that immortal. Attempts a flank. Bleeds out 15 probes. Ay. Not like this. Immortal pops out, and he wants the immortal. He wants it. He gets it as well. Sassy immortal keeps going with the warpins. Once again, boys being pulled, and there's just no way for herO to survive this. GG gets called, and Zoun, he will take game at number 3 and put a point on the board. GG. GG, well played, Zoun. He is still in this series, is still in this game. Zoun able to pull off the all-in, and again, herO, he unfortunately just did not see this coming. He did see the 3rd gateway. That was a tell of aggression, but he failed to see the proxy. The proxy with 2 extra gateways. So, was not aware of the all-in until it was too little, too late. GG. GG, well played. With that, we do have a series here. We have a back and forth. Jumping into our next game. Next game is going to be on Ultra Love. Here we go. I'm going to be jumping into Ultra Love. And we'll see if Zoun can force the ace match or if herO can recover. Oh boy. As this map, it screams Phoenix Wars back. Oh no. Not again. we're going back to the Phoenixes. At spawning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss. For Twisted Minds, it is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player for Team Vitality, it is Zoun. As Zoun is setting up here on the low ground for a gateway into Cybercore, into Stargate, into Expansion. herO doing the same, but setting up on the high ground in the main instead of at the natural. Regardless, there should be the same mirrored builds between herO and Zoun. Here we go. So we'll see if we do once again embrace Phoenix Wars. And we'll see if Zoun is able to tighten up his Phoenix Wars as well. As a reminder, last time we saw that Zoun did get supply blocked. At the worst moment. Hoping he can, again, have a cleaner execution this time. As we do have our initial Cybercore follow-up. So Gate into Cybercore out of herO, Gate Cybercore out of Zoun. Oh, Zoun, he did take some extra hits though. Yeah, the probe takes a lot of damage, which means Zoun, he will not be able to deny the expansion. Uh-oh. Yeah, he's just taking too much damage. I mean, the Zelda's still on the way. You see Zoun double back. Okay, still being annoying, making use of those shields. Shields do recharge, and there's a pylon block. So Zoun is forcing the Stargate. Likewise, so is herO. There it is, Stargate for Zoun, Stargate for herO, Phoenix Wars. So Phoenix Wars are upon us. To be expected on a map like Ultra Love. Now, last time we saw this out of herO, he did actually go for a 2-base all-in with a 3-gateway setup. Sorry, I should say with a 4-gate setup. After the Phoenixes. I don't expect to see that build once again though. There's expansion for both players. And we should be embracing proper Phoenix Wars between the two as well. Here we go. As the first Phoenix is on the way for Zoun. Oracle opener out of herO. Oh, this is a bold move here. It is very difficult to pull this off. Now, this might be Oracle into Phoenixes, and the goal would be to avoid the first Phoenix of Zoun and to try to get behind the army and to try to get into the mineral line. It is not easy, but it is possible. herO breaks in. Here he confirms, of course, the Phoenixes. Going for a second gateway. He's going for a ground switch. Okay, bold move. It's going into a ground switch instead. The Depth busts into the main. They will get one probe, not even. And that's skin up here by Zoun. herO moving out with the Oracle. He's aware of the location of these Phoenixes. herO biding his time. Going into a Blink follow-up. Going into Blink Stalkers. Oracle's on the way. There's actually not that many probes here at the natural. Likewise, Phoenix is here on patrol. Oracle dips in. And how many probe kills? He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. 3, 4, up to 5. 5 workers go down, gets Revelation towards the end. Barely does catch the Phoenixes. Back at home. Oh, Adept does bust into the main. Gets 2. Takes down 2 probes, and here he's stuck at home. Here, at this point, he's stuck at home. What you see is Zoun, he's switching into his Robo. This should be for immortal production, as we said before. If you're down in Stalkers, if you're down in a Gateway Army, you do need those immortals. And we'll see what Zoun can get done. Gets into the mineral line, gets another 6 probes. Nice damage here from Zoun. Very nice. Does get some good damage. Wise does attempt to drive by. Here he just sends it across the map, setting up his own proxy gateway. How many gates? 4. So hey, it's almost a role reversal. Almost here of what we saw in Sandworm, where herO is going for his own blink all in, and Zoun is going to have to try to hold on here with Phoenixes and with Immortals. Now again, Zoun, he was so quick to respond with his Immortal production. He already has 1 Immortal on the high ground. He does not really have much ground support with that Immortal. He has the Phoenixes, he can always lift. I'll be honest, with the Phoenix count this high, I don't really see herO breaking this. Loving Hallucination. herO true can try to bypass the main army, or ideally try to catch out a Phoenix with his blink. herO is poking in. Which Immortal is real? Going for the Cybercore. Cybercore is going to get picked off. 2 more volleys. herO, he doesn't go for it. Pulls away, getting extra warp ins. Now, as herO is warping in, he is on 2 base saturation. He's getting a third. He's getting a 3rd base. herO, he's not committing. He will get the Cybercore. But herO, he may not want to actually go into the natural. May not need to. It's a gateway. Again, just very careful control here by herO. Picks up the Cybercore, gateway. Doesn't go further in. Meanwhile, Zoun, he's up to how many? He's up to 3, so it'll be 4 Immortals. Oh, going for the dive. He gets 1. Takes down 1 Immortal. We'll go for the other as well. He gets 2. And he'll get all 3. All 3 Immortals going to be going down. Massive pickoffs. Phoenixes, they can only lift 1 Phoenix. They can barely do anything here. Lifting 1 Stalker at a time. And it's not enough. It's not enough herO. He has done it. It catches out with his pants down. Takes out all the Phoenixes. Takes out all the Immortals. 1 Immortal's left. Reinforcements have arrived. Triggers the shields, kites back, looking forward once again, going for the Immortal, 1 more volley, and that's enough. Takes down the Immortal, and herO, he has done it. He has done it, he has broken the back of Zoun. GG gets called, and herO, he'll pull off the all-in, he will break Zoun, and take the series 3-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played herO. He will claim the series. Again, very intense game there by herO. Opening up Stargate, yes, but switching out of Phoenixes into a ground-based all-in. Very risky move out of herO, but it did pay off. Unfortunately, Zoun, he was unable to punish. Unable to do much against herO, at least economically. I do think there was potential for Zoun to get some probe damage, but Zoun, he was so careful with the Phoenixes. It looks like he didn't want to waste his energy. Looks like he was concerned about preserving the energy for a defense mechanism instead, and with that, herO does claim it. GG. Well played. herO, he does claim the series, and with that, we are getting ready for our next matchup here, for our next best of 5. Let's go. Let us go. As exclamation mark be in the chat, you guys want to have a look back yourselves. I believe vetoes are underway for our next series. Up next after the break is going to be a best of 5 between Clem and Rogue. Let's go. It's going to be a Stars of Agora rematch. So we're going to be going on a short break. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain the disruptors, massage your marines, and we'll return with some Terran versus Zerg. See you soon. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Rex April Madness Playoffs, day number 1 to our second series. We just wrapped up with herO versus Zoun, and now we have returned with Clem versus herO. Here we go. We have our second series. We have our TVZ, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the French Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. The favorite player to win the entire tournament, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And you know what time it is? It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series in the chat. Best of luck as we jump into our second best of 5 of the broadcast. As a reminder, these are best of 5s, not best of 3s. And of course, this is single elimination. It's one and done here for our 2 players as we enter a bit of a rematch, a bit of a historic rematch, in a sense. We have seen these 2 face-offs since then, of course, since Stars Zagor, where Rogue did kind of showcase his own unique style, and Rogue has been committing to that style. If you've been watching Rogue versus Bjorn in recent times, or Rogue just in general in ZVT, his go-to, his mantra is still the same. It does feel like for the most part, the goal for Rogue is to be defensive, whether it's with Roach-based openers or not, to fortify himself on 3, 4, and 5 bases, to get into Lurker tech, and then to go into Lurker Nidus play, to just maxed out mass Lurker Nidus play. Does seem to be Rogue's go-to. Not saying he'll do that every game, but I'm saying he'll do that most games. It just seems to be his preferred style here in this matchup. We'll see if he can get there. Likewise, Clem is a very aggressive player. Very often we see 1-1-1s, we see 2-1-1s, 362-1-1s. We do often see a more aggressive build, especially on a smaller map like Ultra Love. I do favor Clem in his ability to break a defending player before they can really fortify themselves, before they can really stabilize. So we'll see if Rogue can survive the aggression of Clem. Now, Clem is moving out. Yo, shout out to Davcraft in the chat to see no screen result, as we do have a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay. Looks like there is a bit of a hotkey bug, but all good. Again, we are settling in. So far, no major signs here. It is going to be racks into factories. Standard opener here by Clem. But yeah, it looks like, I'm assuming the hotkey bug is just that sometimes your hotkeys reset, so you have to just reapply them. It happens. So we'll just allow Clem to fix up his hotkeys before jumping back in.
Game resumed.
Here we go. Here we are back. Again, the first Reaper has arrived, dancing with the army. Oh, dancing with the Lings. No major pickups yet. Lings, they take a lot of hits. Oh, we do see Rogue does make an extra pair of Lings, going up to 6 instead of just 4. And 1 Ling does go down. Then he gets 1. Does pull away. Behind this, going for a 3rd CC before Starport. Economic build here out of Clem. And we'll see if he goes for a 2nd Rax before Starport as well. We'll keep an eye on him. Say Rex. It's Clem, he does break in, does pull away. And there it is. So it's going to be 3 CC 1-1-1 out of Clem. Getting ready for an add-on swap, getting ready for a tech lab into Banshee play. Okay, so very safe, very economic and very safe play out of Clem. I did mention earlier how he is known for aggression and known for being in the face of his opponents. And that may be the case, but so far, not in this game, as he is opening up as economically and as safe as you can. So Clem is testing the waters. Does test the waters. There's that tech lab on that Rax. Again, we expect an add-on swap. We'll see if that's going to be the case. Otherwise, we could just leave the tech lab on the Rax and go for a Viking opener or even a Liberator. Well, there's the swap, and there are the Banshees. So initially, it's going to be Cloak Banshee here, or just Banshee play by Clem. Hellions moving out. Cloak is being researched. And Rogue will attempt the Overlord Scout. Does head into the main. And he will confirm the 1-1-1. Does confirm the researching tag lab. So now he knows it is going to be Cloak. He's fully aware. Rogue is aware. Behind us, Tumor goes down. They're basically getting saturated. Rogue is keeping up with the Hellions for the time being. He's keeping up. As Rogue does go lair first, so it is going to be a lair opener out of Rogue. This typically leads into a Baneliness. Is going to be delayed 1/1 upgrades out of our Zerg player. Just safer play out of Rogue. Hellions threatening a dive. So far, Rogue is keeping up. There's 3 queens here at the third base, likewise 2 queens in between the bases. Is maintaining himself. As Hellions, they threaten a dive. They don't find a way in. See Clem looking for the opportunity. Looking for his moment. Likewise, Banshee does poke in between the bases. Gets 1 drone. 1 drone goes down. Doesn't get much more than that. So far, second Banshee rallies into the army. Misrally there by Clem. We gotta tighten things up here. We always spoke about that layer opener. It is going to be double Evo chamber. We have the Baneliness on the way as well. The side of Rogue is opening up Ling Bane. Clem is aware. So he didn't see any Roach Warren. Let's see any Roaches, I should say. Behind this, Clem getting into his 5-act setup, securing his third base, getting it fully saturated. Banshee's here to defend. Lings they do step in, but Clem is at home to defend. Clem is already in position. He will roast up those Lings. At the same time, Clem is able to get some damage done across the map. So far, good value. 3 drones, 8 Lings, 1 Overlord. Good pick up so far. Meanwhile, Clem is just macroing up, getting into a longer game state. Meanwhile, so is Rogue. No surprise here, Rogue is going for the Hydrogen. We did mention at the start of the game how Rogue, his win condition typically in ZVT is to defend, is to survive until Lurker Tech. Usually his go-to. And does move out. And now he stims in. Going for the expansion, he will deny the 5th. Oh, that's a kill! That's a kill, not a cancel. Massive pickoff already. Ay, ay, ay. Takes down the active tumors. And already a strong start here for Clem. Even supply blocking Rogue. Going for the queens. Bailey doesn't get them. Gets 1. Yeah, 1 queen. Kills the expansion. Tumors. Overlord. Ay, ay, ay. Bailey run by doesn't get much done. My likewise runs into Marines. And Rogue, he's bleeding out too much too quickly here. That was a lot of Banelings going down. Another queen gets sniped. Hatchery's under fire. Rogue is being kept busy. Another Baneling run by, runs into the army, runs into the reinforcements. And she's there back off. Drop into the main. Couple of Marines finally go down. I believe those are, yeah, the first units falling, 6 Marine kills, and 2 depots. That's why Clem, he is dictating the pace of the game. And here comes the main push. Clem, he's been achieving all of this with just harassment, with just, you know, some drop play, with just some Hellions, some Banshees. But now here comes the main push. This is Clem's moment. He's up in supply, up in army. We're trying to keep up. He's got his 1/1 upgrades. There's that Lurker Den. Again, the win condition there for Rogue is to try to survive until Lurkers. Can he get there? Say win condition. That's his first goal, I should say. As Rogue, he runs into reinforcements. Aliens morphing in. That means pushing onto creep. Likewise, Lings 8 busts into the mineral line. 10 SCV is going to be going down. Nice damage. Rogue, he tries to commit in. Oh, does connect. Not bad. Yeah, no splits there from Clem. Banelings, they do connect with the bio. And Rogue holds. Rogue is holding. 14 SCV kills, likewise dropping the main base, gets cleaned up as well. And again, Clem, he took a really rough fight here with those mainlings. And herO, he's pulling it off. Remember, what's his goal? His goal is to survive until Lurker Tech. Lurker Den is about to finish up, and once he can build up those Lurkers, he can slow the game down. herO, he's almost there. Still needs a little bit more time. That's Clem going for the 5th for a second time. Should force a cancel. Cancellation, meanwhile, miss rally here out of Clem. Miss rally in, meanwhile, 2 queens get picked up. Clem is still trying to be active. Once again, rallying out. herO, the first set of lurkers, they have morphed in, but they're not quite in position. Clem still has an opening. Oh, moving forward. Lings aiming for this round. Oh my god. It shuts down the bio. Very nice cleanup here by herO. And herO, he's done it. He's done it. He has held. He's made it to Lunker Tech. The Lunkers are here. It's crazy. Back those Lurkers on the right hand side as well. And herO, he's slowing the game down. He's maxing out. And now it's time. Now it's time to push. As Clem now has to be the defender. And Clem, he's not ready for this. Half his army's across the map. Lings, they flood in, and Clem is in danger here. With mine connections, but Lurkers, they zone the army away, and this third base, it's vulnerable, it's exposed, it's gonna go down. Clem going for a counterattack, he has potential for damage. Factory goes down, CC is on fire. Clem will kill the expansion. Snipe the base. Meanwhile, Lurkers, they still trade well against the army. Oh god, they shut down most of those ghosts. Not the cleanest trade here from herO, but I mean, herO, he still holds. Still maintains those Lurkers. And GG gets called. Clem has nothing left, and herO, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. And herO, he will survive the aggression. He will survive until Lurker Tech, and from there he snowballs out of control. Again, Clem, he did have some rough fights, is what I will say. He had some nice pickoffs early on, but coming in towards the mid game, he did have some rough fights, and with that, he was unable to break herO or unable to punish him for taking into Lurkers. GG. GG well played. herO, he will take a lead in the series, and we'll see if Clem can bounce back. I'm sure he can, but we'll see what map we load into. That's what I'm most curious about myself. Checking some of the videos here. Game 2 is going to be on Amygdala. Okay. Amygdala, known for being the largest map in this tournament map pool. So a very large map, long rush distance by ground. I would say herO is going to be more comfortable here. It's going to be a little more comfortable on Amygdala, even more so than Ultra Love. Oh boy. Here we go. And again, something that shocked me, and I was trying to emphasize it myself, was how passive Clem was playing. I say passive, how standard he was playing. I was emphasizing earlier how Clem is known for these more aggressive builds, especially on smaller maps. We did not get that on Ultra Love. There was a missed opportunity, I feel, and now we're leading into the largest map. Here we go, and spawning in the right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the French Terran player, the blue Terran for Team Liquid, Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg for Team Falcons. It is herO. We go. Now, again, my biggest concern here for Clem is that I feel like a smaller map like Ultra Love was prime for a more aggressive style, for a 1-1-1 or for a 2-1-1 or a 3CC 2-1-1, something more active, something more aggressive. Here on Amygdala, it is the largest map in this tournament map pool. It is smaller than Neon Violet Square, King's Cove, and Abyssal Reef, but those three maps that I mentioned are not a part of this tournament. Amygdala is. Again, the rush distance by ground is long. Likewise, the attack paths are very limited. You can attack towards the south side or towards the north side, so very limited attack paths here on Amygdala. That makes it easier to rotate, easier to defend, as being the defending player specifically, makes it harder to rotate as the aggressing player, I should emphasize. So we'll see how Clem will approach this map. Now, something we've seen quite often from players like Bunny, players like Clem, players like Bjorn on Amygdala is going 3cc 2-on-1. Now, the reason why we should expect 3cc 2-on-1 is because it is difficult for Hellions to get much damage done in the early game. The reason for this, as we were alluding to, is it is quite difficult for Hellions to rotate between the 3rd and the 4th base on this map, just because they have to rotate and go all the way back home. So the chances and likelihood and the effectiveness of Hellions on Amygdala are lessened. They're weaker here on this map. So we'll see if Clem does go for the earlier 2nd racks before CC or not. As Rogue is droning, Rogue is saturating, factory is on the way. So far so good. And again, the big tell that we're looking for here is, do we see a 2nd racks before CC? Do we see a starport before CC? Or do we see a command center before anything else after the factory? As Reaper breaks in, confirms the 3rd base, diving into the main. And we have confirmation that is a 3rd command center here before anything else. So this is, once again, 2 games in a row, economic build. Economic build here out of Clem. Once again, I'm a little bit surprised, but this makes the most sense on this map. We mentioned, we were emphasizing earlier just how difficult it is to be aggressive on this map. Oh, 3cc 2-on-1. Okay, let's go. So 3rd CC into a 2-on-1 setup here, into a delayed starport. We're going for an early stim timing. Now, this makes plenty of sense. We mentioned earlier how difficult it is to be aggressive with Hellions. That's why we're only making 4. Only 4 Hellions, then add-on swap into mass marine production with an earlier stim timing. This is a very common build on this map on Amygdala. I was alluding to Bjorn and Bunny earlier, and Bjorn and Bunny are also very fond of this build on this map. Very fond of it. There's a curious way that this works here is that we're going to be building up 16 Marines, or technically I believe it's going to be 14 to 15 because of the early Hellions. But regardless, it's going to be massing up 2 medevacs worth of Marines with Stim, and of course we do have the reactor on the factory for an add-on swap here into double medevac production, into that faster Stim timing. Now, the goal here for the Stim timing from Clem is to deny creep and to hunt down overlords and maybe get a queen. But more importantly, apply pressure to the 4th base. And this can lead into a very bio-heavy composition with multiple drops, with more reinforcements. And if Clem can cancel the 4th base, then Clem can snowball out of control. So we're gearing up, we're getting towards that Stim timing. Back at home, Rogue, he's droning. He can freely drone, take a 4th base, saturate his bases, take his gases, work towards, well, it is going to be Lair first. So Lair first out of Rogue, followed by Bane the Nest, Aliva Chamber, Ling Bane. So Ling Bane out of our Zerg player. As the 3rd base gets spotted by the Ling. Ling does confirm. 4th base on the way. And here it comes. Here comes the double drop. Now catching the Overlord. Rogue is now aware. He's aware of the build. There we go. It is going to be 14 Marines. So 14 Marines and 4 Hellions. Oh, my apologies. Sorry, 2 Hellions, not 4. And you will keep the 2 Hellions at the 3rd. Marines are moving out. And ideally, Clem wants to force a cancel on this expansion, but the Queens are in position, and so are the Lings. And Rookie's ready for this. Rookie's ready, he's prepared. He zones Clem away. So far not finding a way in. Zoned away by the Queens once again. Rogue, he's all over this. He's all over Clem. And remember, what is the goal for Rogue? The goal is Lurker Tech. Hydrogen is on the way. We're getting ready for the Lunkers. There's a collapse in the army. Two collapse in. He is saturating. Saturating his bases. We do have the infestation on the way. That's going to be for the Hive Tech. Lurker Den has not been thrown down yet. Ideally, you want to line it up with the Hive so you can start those upgrades. As Clem is going to be moving out with an extra 2 medevacs. Extra double drop of bio. Forcing so far, I mean, this 4th base is becoming more and more difficult to break. More creep is being spread. That means you deny the creep. Deny the tumors. Hive is on the way. There's the Ultra Cavern. Okay, I'm still quite concerned here that Clem, he just hasn't really achieved too much damage so far. He's all over these defensives. Here we go. Reinforcements have arrived. Clem is going to commit. Uh-oh. I just realized he's A-Rexing. Yeah, he's A-Rexing. He's going for the A-Rax. He's going for 3-base all-in. 3 Raxes have concluded. And one way or another, either Clem, he kills Rogue or he dies trying. Rogue, he evacuates instantly. Does evacuate. And I'm worried for Clem. So basically what's happening here is that Clem, he has no gases. He's just now taking them, just now going for a second factory. Looks like Clem is getting ready to transition out of this. But Clem, if he doesn't break his opponent Rogue, he is getting away with the Hive. He's getting away with Lurkers. Pulls away. Does pull away. Yep, now we have the 4th CC on the way in production. This is a late 4th command center for Clem. He does have a maxed out army. He's maxed. Now, it's a very subpar army. It's purely Marine tank. Just pure Marine tank. No Marauders, no Ghosts, no nothing. Remember, this initially was a 3-base all-in. That's why there's no finesse here. That's why there's no further tech. Just pure Marine tank. Gas is now being taken. And he sets up. Double drop on the right side. He's encroaching one of the bases. Top left is denied. Oh, that was a kill, not a cancel. Meanwhile, Lurkers are revealed. Getting in position. And Master Marine cannot move into this. There's a blinding cloud. Bailey's rolling in. Oh, there's no medevacs. Bio army is going to be cleaned up. All the Marines go down. It's a rough trade for Clem. Clem, he lost so many Marines there. Meanwhile, Rogue going for a counterattack, trying to catch reinforcements. He runs into a massive army. Bailey's rolling in though. They get some decent connections, nothing major. As the tank does hold the line. Clem, he did race back home for a moment. Rogue is re-expanding. No more Lurkers. And this is getting intense. Now we have extra gases, so now Clem, we can afford Ghosts. Ghost production has begun. 3-3 alongside it. He's getting out of purely Marine tank into Ghosts, into Marauders. Clem, he's getting there. But still on a very, very low SCV count. Rogue is reaching his final form. Double Nidus. Double Nidus on the way. Getting ready for the Overseers. We've seen this before. Moving in with his main army. Oh, does a duct. Takes out a full medevac. Nice catch. Same time, Marines moving in. Rogue has to respond. Pulls back. Here's our repositioning. We have 9 Overseers on the way. Here come the mass Overseers. Did I say 9? We're going to have how many in total? Going to be 17. 17 Overseers. That's a lot of Overseers. And the goal here is to pop off with Nidus Worms. Like, the Nidus Worms are the kill move here that Rogue is going to be going for. It's going to be on Clem to deny these changelings. That's what them. Oh. Nice seduction. Nice power bomb as well. Just trying to keep up. Again, it's going to be on Clem just Turtle. Now, Clem taking a 5th base from here is going to be difficult. 5th base is now on the way. We'll see if Rogue will allow this to get up and running. So Clem is still repositioning. Lurkers, they move in behind the middle line. They attempt to. That's towards the top side. Clem getting his 5th. He dives in, does a duct, he gets 2 tanks. There's only 5. There we go. I was gonna say that the lurker count is actually quite low. Oh my god. I say pop off. Gets 1. It's 1 lurker, and Nidus Worms are finishing. Changes moving in. Now, once the first Nidus gets up and running, that's when things can very quickly snowball out of control. So important that Clem just stays secure. Stays defending. Overseers moving in. Nidus into the natural, and Nidus into the main. 2 Nidus Worm, 1 Nidus does get picked off. Other Nidus should be as well. Go for the Reaper from the start of the game. Let's go. This Rogue is also being active. 12 more Overlords on the way. Building up. Again, we still just have no opening. But Rogue is mass expanding. He's mass expanding, taking top left, spreading creep as well. He should try to take every base on the map and try to prioritize mining on those fringe bases. Got the backup Evo chambers in the center. Should be for consume. Stuck on those buildings. It's moving in. Swims on the way. Ghost, they shut down some of the lurkers. They get 1, they can do they 3. He threatens a dive, going for the ghost. There are so many ghosts though. 14. Jesus. 14 ghosts here for Clem. Rogue has to retreat. Does go off ground. You know, Nidus. Oh, Nidus did finish. And Nidus does finish in the main. The lurkers, they pop out, and we spoke about this before. Sometimes 1 Nidus is all it takes. As Lurkers, they take over the main. Oof. Catching up the ghosts. Rogue's main army is pushing in. Hoping to catch his opponent distracted. Lurkers, they evacuate. To evacuate. Rogue, he doesn't commit. I believe he should have a Viper. Yeah, he has one. Does rank one of the tanks, gets the other. He's off both. Gee, that's a lot of changelings. Jesus. Changelings that do get into the bases. They can also try to choke up the ramp. Snipes are popping off. Well, Clem's distracted. More mining denied. Oh. He's looking for a dive. Nidus into the main. Well, Clem's distracted. Sando is in, but he's ready. Nidus into the natural. Clem getting ambitious with his base. Nidus trying to say, I felt like they do finish. Now, the natural is not as crucial as the main. We'll get in position. Oh, the ghost though. Ghosts, they do cloak in time. Oh, despite that, so many ghosts go down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, ghosts are falling left and right. That is brutal, even without detection. At the same time, Rogue is moving in. He's just pulling Clem apart, busting into the middle line. SCVs go down. GG gets called. Clem is broken. He gets torn apart. And Rogue, he will take a 2-0 lead. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Once again, Clem going for an economic build. Now, as a reminder, this was an economic build into an ARAX, into a 3-base all-in. But Rogue, he was so quick to identify, so quick to just give up on the base, give up on the expansion. He did just back off. He allowed Clem to get it, and Clem from there didn't like what he saw, did transition to a longer game state into gases, into another CC, into ghost production, of course. Unfortunately, he was never able to gain any momentum, never able to really gain any map control. He was just contained. He was just contained, and Rogue had free reign to just mass expand and to mass Nidus as well. GG. GG, well played. With that, Rogue is one game away from knocking Clem out of the tournament. Again, I mentioned this before, Clem, he's favored to be a champion. He's favored to make a deep run and potentially win the entire tournament. And now he's one game away from being eliminated. What a mess. One more game and he's out. Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go. The pressure is on, and I'm concerned for Clem here. I'm hoping for an extended series. I'm hoping for a game 4. But this approach that Clem has been going for, at least against Rogue, just has not been working. And here we go. Getting into game number 3. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the French Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. Down in the series, we'll see if he can recover, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have bottom left hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. Where will Liberators not enough freedom? I mean, Liberators, that wouldn't have changed the outcome of that game. Again, a lot of it came down to the early to mid game. It came down to Rogue gaining map control early on and being able to, with that map control, of course, just put so much pressure on Clem with the non-stop run by his lurkers towards the center, Ling Bane towards the right, and constant Nidus storms into the main or into the natural as well. So it's non-stop just counterattacking, backstabbing, and again, you can see just how comfortable Rogue can be if he can get to that kind of game state. I feel like we've seen that 2 games already, and we'll see if Clem can recover coming into game number 3. Welcome on all to Persephone. Persephone is a bit of a more aggressive map. The rush distance by ground is very direct. It's a very direct rush distance. And we'll see how Clem will approach this. So far, every game in this series has gone for an economic opener. He's gone ranks factory into CC. Last game did have a 2-1-1 variation, but alas was not quite able to deny the expansion. Not with the 2-1-1. Did so afterwards. We go so far standard openers. Hatch gas pool, third base going to be on the way. He's setting for his third. Likewise, our eyes are going to be on Clem. Every game so far, we've seen a 3cc build. Do we see it again for a third time in a row? Meanwhile, Reaper is going to be shut down. No, not quite. Link does full. Reaper poking in. Does get out. Meanwhile, yep, third CC before Starport. Once again, economic build here out of Clem. Rogue is going to be more comfortable here in the early to mid game. Now, we haven't seen Rogue open Roach yet. This wouldn't be a bad map for it. On some of these smaller maps, it is considered to be safer to open up Roaches, just to be secure coming into a longer game state. Now reactor to Hellion. We have another Reaper on the way. Okay. I don't think that's intentional. Well, pretty sure that's meant to be a Marine, by the way. But the Reaper is in production. From here, we should be seeing a Tech Lab into an add-on swap. Reaper does pop out. Force with those Hellions. I mean, Reapers, they hold some utility in the early game, that is true. They hold some of it. The second Reaper has arrived. Meanwhile, hey, we spoke about it. This time it is going to be a Roach opener out of Rogue. Again, it makes sense on some of these smaller maps to open up Roaches just to be very safe. I say very safe. This is a hidden Roach Warren behind the mineral line. Oh boy. So far, unscouted. And, I mean, Rogue, he hasn't played Roaches yet this series. There we go, 7 Roaches on the way. Rogue, he's going for the Roach Rush. So far, unscouted. Lings, they bypass the Hellions. They go straight for the mineral lines. What is that home to defend? We have 2 Hellions halfway down. SVs are going to be going down. Clem is not ready for this. There's nothing here. There's one Marine. There's one Marine. SVs are falling. This is brutal damage already. Hellions have denied access into the bases. And Rogue, has he just done it here? I'm not referring to these Lings. I'm referring to what comes next. I'm referring to these Roaches as they go by unscouted. Queens, they do hold the line. We can see Clem, I mean, he's trading quite well against this. But Clem, he doesn't see what's coming his way. It's an all-in. Rogue, he doesn't drone. Rogue at 39 workers, just mass Ling Roach. Rogue, he sends everything across the map. And Clem, he sees nothing. He now sees some Lings, which is a little bit suspect. He's like, hold up, why are you rallying Lings? Did I miss something? The answer is yes. Yes, he missed everything. As the Roaches, they have arrived. Natural is exposed. Clem, he has to make a choice. Alas, the wall is open. Lings, they flood in. Roaches flood in as well. And I don't think anyone was expecting a 3-0 in either direction. I mean, maybe for Clem, but not in the other way. Not in favor of Rogue. As Rogue gets 16 SCV kills, he has broken the main base. He's wreaking havoc. Hellions had to race back home. And the Hellions can eventually clean up all these Roaches, but the damage has been done. Getting up to 19, 20 SCVs. More Lings flooding in. They sip into the main. Getting more economic damage. Hellions trying to keep up. Emphasis on trying. And Rogue is still rallying. He's still just rallying everything across the map. You could argue that Rogue should maybe stop rallying and just try to consolidate his army. The Wild! Oh my god. Wild connects. Still more SCV kills, still not done. Getting another Hellion and another. Down to one. One Hellion left. Down to zero. Zero Hellions. And Rogue, he has broken Clem. Again, an impressive series, to be fair, out of Rogue. Very impressive. And Clem, uncharacteristically, for the most part, playing economically, right? He was not being hyper-aggressive, was being going for these more economic builds, which allowed Rogue to be so much more comfortable in this entire series. Rogue, he was able to thrive. And Clem, he's fueled by hopium at the moment. He's fueled by the hopium and by some of the copium as well. As every SCV falls at the natural. The Banshees, I mean, these Banshees, they put in a lot of work. They've got like, what, like 30 kills each? And Rogue, he's following this up. Rogue, he's still not droning, by the way. He could. If Rogue really wanted to, he could just drone. He could just drone, could just saturate. But instead, we're going for Job Lords. We're going for Job Lords. We're going for a Queen support. Queens are moving in. And this is going to be the answer to the Banshees. They get this round on the Hellion. They get into the mineral lines for a second time. Queens, they drop in. They're going for the Banshees, and GG gets called. Rogue, he will claim the series 3-0, and he will win this series and advance on and knock Clem out of the tournament. GG. Crazy result here. GG, well played. I mean, again, Clem, he came in as one of the heavy favorites here to potentially win the entire tournament, but alas, Rogue, he did come out on top here. Again, Clem, he went for economic builds every game he went for 3cc openers. Likewise, we did see some 3cc 2-on-1 play, that is true, and we did see an Arax on Amygdala, but we spoke about it. Like, Amygdala was Rogue's map. Like, Amygdala is where Rogue thrives just because it is more defendable. Sure, Rogue, he lost 2 bases, but he was able to stabilize, get into Lurker Tech. Same can be said on Ultra Love, same can be said here as well. I mean, not quite Lurker Tech on Persephone, but he was able to get across the map unscouted time and time again. Clem, he just missed the movements, he missed the rotations, he missed the lings, and he missed the roaches. Clem missed everything. GG, well played. With that, Clem is out and Rogue is in. And let's catch up on the brackets. Exclamation mark B. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys don't have to look back yourselves. Here we go. We have herO. herO took down Zoun, of course, at 3-1, advancing on to the upper semifinals. And Rogue takes down Clem. Oh. Rogue takes down Clem 3-0, and Rogue is now going to be going up against herO in the upper semifinals. Here we go. So they are going to be facing off. Meanwhile, we're getting ready for our next series here. We're going to be going on a break. When we come back, we'll have Bunny and Solar facing off. Oh boy. As they do need some time to conduct their vetoes. Just catching up with the chat. Just catching up. Master Eagle, let's go, Bappy. True. But yes, with that, we're going to be going on a break. And when we come back, we'll have that TVZ, another one with Bunny and Solar. See you soon, Pappy. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second half of the broadcast. Welcome back to the Rex April Madness Playoffs day number 1. We just wrapped up with our first 2 series and we had some crazy upsets. I mean, we had a more expected result when it comes to our initial series of herO versus Zoun, but Rogue just caused a massive upset against Clem, and we'll see if upsets will be continuing here tonight. For now, though, we have another TBZ spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, also representing Team Falcons as they are teammates. It is Solar. And see, this is what I wanted out of Clem. Proxy 2-Rack Reaper. Sorry, just sneezed. No Reaper, sorry. Proxy 2-Racks here. Proxy 2-Racks out of Bunny. Let's go, baby. I mean, this is not quite what I wanted out of Clem. I wanted aggression. out of Clem. We didn't quite get it. Nowhere near as much. Here, this is maybe too much to the other side of things, where this is insanely aggressive, overly so. Going 2-Racks into the bunker rush. Now, this is not an all-in. Bear that in mind. This is not an all-in. This is aggressive nonetheless. Also, before I forget, predictions now open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat, as we do have a standard hatch gas pool opener out of Solar. He does not scout the proxy. He does not go further out. Meanwhile, again, it is only 2-Racks. The goal here is to force an overreaction out of your opponent, is to potentially get some drone damage as well, while Bunny transitions back at home. SMEs move in. Bunker's going to be thrown down. Solar quick to pull the boys. The boys are here on the low ground. There we go. They do move down. Boys are here, and the goal for Solar is to make sure these bunkers don't get up and running, and make sure the Marines do not get close to said bunkers. Yeah, we'll chase them down. Chase down the buyout so far. Nice target firing, getting up to 1, getting 2, getting 3. Very nice target fight. Bunny, calm down. Oh my god, gets 3 drones. 3 drones do fall. From here, gets surrounded. Brutal pickoff. Nice round here by Solar. And Bunny, he only has two Marines. Only 2 Marines. Bunker is going to be... Oh, Bunker finishes, which means no salvage. That's going to be a kill on the bunker, and Solar holds. Solar, he does hold on. Bunny from here, falling back. And, I mean, we did get some damage, true. It was 3 drones. 3 drones went down. That is okay, but Bunny was hoping for more. He was hoping for a little bit more from that. As a result, we do see Solar. He will be taking a lead early on. Now going for his gases, droning up, saturating. Because the gases are so late, Bunny, he is safe. Like, Bunny is very... Oh, sorry. There we go. Bunny is very much so safe back at home. He is under no threat. But Solar can enjoy a greater economy. He can just drone up, he can saturate and take a 3rd base and settle into a longer game state. Likewise, Bunny going for his own CC on the high ground, also settling into his own standard game as well. Now, behind this is going for a 1-1-1. From here, we can go into potentially Banshee base play. There's potential. Rax is floating in, getting a scout off, and the Rax will confirm the lack of lair, lack of gases, lack of tech. As Bunny is double expanding, 3rd CC on the way. 3rd CC on the way. No tech lab, going Viking first. Most likely into Stim. Viking to hunt down those overlords. Solar does have that overlord here outside of the main.
Base is under attack.
Bunny floats over, taking his natural. We'll see where our players take us. Bunny is setting up. Likewise, interesting. So Viking opener into a medevac, into an early drop. Okay, that I was not expecting. So earlier drop here. Looking to be a Hellion drop even. Okay, Hellion drop out of Bunny, very unorthodox. And in general, this game has been unorthodox with the initial proxy. So Hellion drop is moving out. Overlord did survive. Now Solar coming in for the scout. Lane does confirm. Solar's got a spore on the way. Hellion drop diving in. Does dive in, does not get into the mineral line. So far, so good. Solar defense. Solar, he defends, he deflects. Likewise, across the map, we do have our standard bio follow-up into 3-1-1. Sim into combat shields. Hellions, they go back into the main base, so the MaxPax takes a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage. Has to get the hell out of here. Solar defense. Solar, he defends well. As Solar, he's going for his early lair. So lair opener into a Baneling Nest, into Baneling Speed, into delayed 1-1 upgrades. But overall should just be Ling Bane. As Solar's joining. Here come the W chambers again. The upgrades are delayed here for Solar. They are intentionally delayed. In favor of the faster Baneling Speed. As Baneling Speed has begun. Likewise, Bunny claiming his third. And despite having a very chaotic and very intense early game, we can calm things down and get into a more standard mid game. Oh, the intercept. Nice pickoff. That goes down. Full medevac as well. Solar embracing his Ling Bane. Ling Bane into fast infestation bit. This should be Ling Bane into ultra. So greedy follow-up here from Solar. Very greedy. But again, aggression is limited here at the moment because of the openers. Saying that, Bunny, he does go for a bit of an earlier move out, but this move out is interesting to say the least. There's one tank, there's one Hellion, a couple of Marines, 2 medevacs. Not the largest of move outs, but it is early. So far does get a couple of tumors. Again, the army is quite small, he has to be so careful. There's the Unsiege. Just going for the drop. Drop into the main. Meanwhile, Solar, he's getting up to 4 base saturation, now getting a 5th expansion on the right hand side. The Hive is almost done. Now, this drop here from Bunny will actually scout the Hive timing, so big moment here for Bunny. Scouts the Hive, takes down the Queen. Force a pick up. Pick up, force to pull away. Bunny's just being so active with so little. But achieving quite a bit with it. Yeah, achieving quite a bit. Bunny pushing on the right hand side. I don't think he can kill the 5th base, but he can threaten. Shaves off some HP. If this is a double drop, then maybe, but only a single drop. Bunny perks in. Base down to almost half HP. There's that Ultra Cavern again. It was a rush into Hive, so rush into Ultras. And Bunny's not ready for this. Bunny, he only has Bio Tank at the moment. He's got a couple of Marauder sprinkled in. He has no Liberators. He has no Ghost production. Now, Bunny, he did scout the Hive, so he knows that something is wrong. And there's a very high chance that, I mean, if you're seeing a fast Hive, it's most likely fast Ultras. So even though Bunny hasn't confirmed the tech itself, he more or less should know what's happening. Ramai gets a tank. And again, the pressure's on Bunny to break Solar before Ultra Tech. Meanwhile, 2 Ultras on the way, kind of splitting as well. Bunny, he's moving out. So far, Bunny not getting caught on siege. By setting up. I believe 2 Ultras have arrived. 2 Ultras, that is not enough. Bunny does confirm those two ultras. They do move out ahead of time. Lightning clouds here on one of the tanks. Nice spread here from Bunny. Yeah, he does kite back. And Bailey's don't really find any connections. They shut down the ultras. Forcing his way forward. Takes down one of the ultras, but he will lose his tanks. Bunny backs off. Again, barely not enough. It was an awkward fight. He pulls away. Still no Ghost Academy. Still stuck on Marine Marauder tank. And Solar defense. He defends, he holds on. We got 5 ultras on the way. There is that one Viper as well. The one lone Viper gathering energy. Likewise, now it's Solar's turn. He is being aggressive. He's at the 5, soon to be 6 ultras. Now moving in, nice lightning clouds. Solar, he will break through. And racing past the army. Trying to collapse on the middle, trying to collapse on the bio. He's some bathing to the face, but for the most part, nice defense. Forces back the army. Doesn't quite get on top of the ultras. Quite. And again, Bunny, he's on his he's pretty all in at this point. Like, he's pretty all in. He has to commit. Remember, there's still no Ghost Academy. But he's pushing on to creep into all these ultras. He has to try to end it. That's coming for the flank. And Solar, he will solve this up. He will shut down the tanks. He shuts down the bio army as well. Who needs spellcasters? Who needs fungals? Oh my god. Bailey's connecting. And Solar, he's done it. At this point, he has done it. He has broken the back of Bunny. Fungal pops off. Massive connection. The fungal spot. He's crazy. And Bunny just cannot keep up. He's been outscaled. Solar rushing into the hive and rushing into ultras. It was worth it. It was a risky maneuver. And there was definitely windows of opportunity where Bunny could be more assertive and could have tried to have broken Solar early on. In the end, Solar, he's here. He's made it to another remaxed army. And Parabol going off. Ultra's catching another tank. And again, Bunny, he just doesn't really have much of an army to work with. Like, at this point, he's running on fumes. He's huffing that copia, baby. Elsling Bane rolls in, takes down the final tank line, chasing down the bio army. Oh, healing up into the mineral line, going for SCVs. SCVs are going down. And GG gets called. Bunny, he is broken. He just has no momentum left. And Solar will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Solar will take lead in the series. Again, Bunny had a very aggressive start to the game, going for the proxy 2 racks, followed by the Hellion drop as well. The Hellion drop didn't really do much damage. We spoke about it at the time, but alas, the 4th base was more delayed. The 5th base as well, going to Bunny's setup. I was not quite able to recover from that. GG. GG well played. Again, Solar, he was also being very greedy. As a reminder, he did rush into a very fast engagement, rushing into fast ultras as well. Bunny, he did scout the hive, but it does look like he wasn't fully aware of what that entailed. GG. GG well played. With that, we're getting into our next game. We're going to be loading into Whispers of Gold. Let's go. Whispers of Gold, of course, being the smallest map in the tournament map pool, known for being the rush map. Or I say the smallest map, technically I think herO might be smaller. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about herO and Whispers of Gold. Regardless, rush map. I don't see Bunny proxying again, but I don't think he needs to be aggressive. We go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Wizards of Gold, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Falcons. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back and tie things up and make a series out of this. It is Bunny. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, also representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. As we're getting into game number 2. This time no proxy. This time the Rax is back at home. This time there is no cheese out of Bunny. We can see Solar scatting for proxies with the Overlord. I do not blame him, especially after game 1. But as we can see, Bunny's he's keeping it close to the chest this time. He is an animal. He is a bunny, but no proxies. Now, we do expect aggression out of Bunny, not quite the same form. I mean, again, like game 1 was just a really awkward game because of the failed proxy 2 racks. It just led into a really awkward game state, and it was difficult to read and difficult to judge. Meanwhile, here, we do have the opportunity for Bunny to go for a more standard aggressive build. I'm referring to going for a 1-1-1 or a straight up 2-1-1. I do expect one of the two coming into Wizards of Gold. I do expect aggression out of Bunny. And we'll see if Solar can keep up. We go. And now the initial Reaper's on the way. SCV Scout as well to confirm what's going on. To potentially delay the CC or delay the expansion. Solar's Triangle third base is going to be delayed. So instead, does fan out 2 drones. We'll take the linear third instead. Here, taking the linear third base. Bunny behind this going for the factory. And again, we're waiting to see, do we throw down the second racks? Do we throw down the CC or the starport? Let's see. Reaper pulls away. Oh, we have confirmation that he is going for a greedy economic build. Third command center here from Bunny. Now I'm still leaning towards potentially even 3cc 2-1-1. That is still on the table here for our Terran player, but outside of that, it is going to be an economic build. Yep, there it is, 3cc 2-1-1. So second racks is on the way. We saw this we did see this once out of Clem previously, and Bunny is very fond of this build as well. We saw this out of Clem on Wizards of Gold, if you recall. Did see it on Whispers. I was seeing, sorry, not Whispers, on Amigla from Clem, if you recall. Meanwhile, we're seeing it here on Whispers out of Bunny. Now, this is a later timing, so this does mean that Solar has more time to himself to drone, to saturate, to secure his bases. Here, Bunny, he will be hitting a later stim timing with later medevacs. And again, cutting Hellion production early on at 4. So only 4 Hellions. Here comes the add-on swap. It's going to be only 4 Hellions. Now, if Solar were to recognize what was going on, he is free to drone up quite heavily for the next minute. And we'll see if Solar opens roaches. We have yet to throw down tech yet. It could be Fast Lair, could be Bailey Nest, could be Roach Warren. We'll see how safe Solar wants to play. Just keeping up with the Hellions. Just keeping up, no major damage. Likewise, there's the add-on swap. Stim is on the way. This is going to be Lair first out of Solar. Okay, so we have confirmation. Lair first, most likely into a Bailey nest. Yep, there it is, Bailey nest on the way. The way this works here is that the lair is going to be in line with bathing speed, or with the completion of the nest to get into bathing speed. And we'll see what Bunny can get done. Here comes the double drop. Again, the whole purpose of the build leads into this moment. It's going to be 14 Marines, getting up to 16. So 16 Marine double medic drop. Zooming across the map. Hellions might be struggling, but Elastomast Marine will help with that. And Solar should have been making Lings. We do have some Lings on the way. Still not going to be an easy hold though. Queensy keeping up. Ooh, meanwhile, that's a kill. That's a kill, not a cancel. That should not have happened. Solar, see by the wheel. As that was a massive pickoff. Bunny now dropping into the main. Dropping into the main base, catching one of the overlords. Solar, he just cannot quite engage with the banelings. Force back the army. Force him back. Bunny pulling away. I mean, Bunny already got what he wanted, right? He was able to deny the fourth and get a kill. That is the most that he would have hoped for. Now we have reinforcements on the way. Fourth command center as well. And we'll see if Bunny can pull that off for a second time. Can he kill the expansion? Soul's in trouble. I mean, this is very momentum based, and to lose the first fourth is brutal. So Solar, he has less economy, has less larva. As the base is denied. Solar, like, oh god, no! Ooh, Bailey saying rush in! And they catch the middle line, 15, 16 SCVs going down, and just like that, in one fell swoop, Solar, he denies the fourth base, he does force a cancel, gets into the mineral line. Oh, and this is getting out of hand. 19 SCV kills, gets a full surround on one of the E-base. He will not deny +1, but he will delay +2. As the surround is brutal, and does he get the kill? Ooh, he does not. Clutch repair. Clutch repairs out of Bunny. Does save his E-base. Starting up +2. And even though Solar may have lost his expansion twice at this point, it was worth it. At this point, it has been worth it here. Dealt so much damage across the map, slowing down Bunny. And now there's a lower chance that Bunny actually denies the backup fourth. Going to this base here. Linear fourth base. Control's taken. Bunny does scan. He's aware. They're just buying time. Ooh, Solar going for a counterattack. This is a bold move. Solar, he does not have much to defend back at home. Solar, he's committing. Bunny rotates around. Solar once again looking to collapse in. Doesn't actually go for it though. Again, this base is exposed. There's potential here for Solar, but he pulls away with his Link Bane. This expansion is going to go down. Solar, he will lose another fourth. Solar now in a rough position. He backs up, he retreats. So far, so good. He's moving forward. Wesley Main does spot this. We do see a massive rotation here from Bunny, using most of all of his army. Bunny moving in. Both armies are maxing out. Bunny essentially 3 base all in, but he does have a CC on the way. Solo forced to engage. Brutal pig off, so Balins they go down. Solo bleeding out a lot of links. Things they do catch a tank. Goes down. Balins they attempt to get into the mineral line, not quite able to. Oh, good. One Bailey connects. Getting 9 SCVs. But the command center is done. Bunny is so close to breaking Solar. So close. Small lane being rolling into the mineral line. Doesn't quite get in though. Better defense. Much better here by Bunny. Bunny he defends well. Ultras they have now arrived. It's going to be decently upgraded Ultras. Solly attempts another run by. This time there's plenty to defend. Ultra moves out. Ultra does spot the army. Force everything back. Not too convinced by Solar. Yeah, he just cannot break through this. He's hoping to catch Bunny out of position or off guard. Not like this. As Bunny's moving forward, takes down the Viper. And I don't see Solar surviving this. Solar's got a couple of Ultras, and sure, there are no ghosts, but it may not matter. Yeah, Liberation is solid. The base goes down, knocking down the 4th. I should say the 5th. Solar down to 4 bases. And Solar, he's waiting and he's hoping the Bunny overextends. Let's get behind the mineral line. Oof. It does go down. I mean, the armies are still maxed. This can still go either way, but Bunny does have a massive advantage. Right now, as I mentioned before, Solar is hoping that Bunny overextends. He's hoping, he wants to see like a big on siege, and he wants to see Bunny push onto creep. Would be best case scenario here for Solar. He attempts another run by. Oof. It's a run by is denied. Tank is saved. Oh. There's one. Scout Academy is now done. Just slaying the push, picking off a free tank. And Solar, he is holding on. But really what Solar is hoping for, what he's waiting for, is one big fight. One big fight in his favor. Again, Blinding Clouds would be crucial in that. The flank as well. Speaking of, there is a planetary, but only a planetary. Nice round. Solar shuts down a portion of the army. Likewise, making his way to the mineral line. This planetary should fall. Oh my god. What a mess. He's so close. Oh, the Balins, they will. Oh, they will. They will catch up. That's going to be 13 SCV kills. And a kill on the planetary. Bearing in mind that mules, I'm sorry, the orbitals they can just float over. Likewise, Bunny does snipe another base. Dying the 5th. Base is being denied left and right. Bunny's on 45 SCVs. Very low SCV count for Bunny. Just relying on mules. This Bunny's slowly pushing forward with his Venn diagram here of, of Liberators, of tanks. Again, Solar's been Bunny's been so careful when it comes to how he engages. Another run by moving in. The ultra counter attack. Getting more SCVs. Solar, he has to respond. That's going to be another expansion going down. Oof. Yeah, late response here by Solar. The ultra does take down 2 tanks. 2 tanks, that was 11 drones going down. What did I say? 11 and 0! Losing up to 21. And Bunny's done it. Bunny's finally done it against Slow and Steady, wins the race. Again, just so patient with his movement, with his rotation. Landing cards on the tanks, the ultras are exposed. And Bunny, he will take this. He will tie up with the series. As they stand every single ultra, GG gets called, and Bunny ties up the series 1-1. GG. Oh my god, we do have a back and forth. We have a series. As again, Bunny, he went for a more aggressive start here, and he was able to just get the ball rolling and never quite stopped. Solar, he did have some successful run-bys and counterattacks, but it feels like every time he was going for one, we did see his opponent, we did see Bunny take down bases or take down mineral lines. Alas, the run-bys were not able to equalize. Or they weren't enough to give a solid lead he was hoping for. And with that, GG. With that, GG well played. We're going all the way to game 3. We're tied up 1-1. Tied up. Getting into that third game. Let's go. And again, those sorts of builds, those ARAXs, the hyper aggression here from the side of the Terran just hits so different and so hard, almost was a gold. Solar just could not keep up. Again, that's why some of these smaller maps are more favored towards more aggressive Terran players. But now we load into a much more quirky map. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Sandworm, we have our South Korean Terran player tying up the series 1-1. It is Bunny. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, also for Team Falcons. It is Solar. So just stretching. Here we go. But yes, we're getting into game number 3, and we'll see if Bunny can keep this going, if he can keep up the momentum as we load into a much larger map. Welcome one and all to Sandworm. I say larger, it's still on the smaller side of things, but larger compared to Whispers of Gold, but I guess everything is larger compared to Whispers. So the rushes by ground, it can be a little bit more unorthodox, thanks to the pillars in the center, thanks to the dragon's teeth, if you will. They do make some of these move outs and assaults a little bit more awkward. Meanwhile, go bases are more accessible on this map. And we have seen some Terran players successfully expand and take the gold early on as a third or even as a fourth base. That is going to be a factor, of course. Likewise, Solar back at home going for a standard hatch gas pool. We'll see if he does eventually indulge in the gold. Now, in general, as we get into this, we do expect Bunny to be aggressive. Game 1, we saw Proxy 2x Marine into Bunker Rush. Game 2, we saw a 3-base all-in. Eventually transition into a 4th base, which is hyper aggression out of Bunny. And I'm leaning towards that here as well, leaning towards potentially even aggression with the go bases to support it. Otherwise, hatch gas pool, standard openers, Solo going for his own third. Everything so far looking normal. Here we go. We have Bunny back at home going for his factory. Reaper moves out, dances with the Lings, and shouldn't get much done here as Reaper is deflected. Shouldn't get much done. This I was not expecting. Bunny going for a third CC, that is true, but a third CC on location. Okay, fair enough. So we go from these more aggressive builds so far in this series to insane greed. Insane greed out of Bunny. Reaper pokes in, does dip away. It is going to be 362 on 1, so this is a similar build to what we saw last game. If you remember, last game was 362 on 1, that is true, but with a more reserved location for the third. This time a lot more cavalier, this time out in the open. And Solar does open Roach. Now, we expected Roach openers on Whispers of Gold in the last game. We didn't get it. The reason why we expect Roach-based play on some of these smaller maps is because it's just a very easy way to be defensive. It's just a very defensive play style. Gives you early Roaches, gives you early Ravagers, and that is an answer to early game tank pushes. And it's also a very tanky army as well. It has a lot of HP. So often a very safe way to play. Now, Solar, he did cut corners. He did choose to skip them and avoid them on Whistles of Gold, and it feels like he was punished for that. Here on Sandworm, Solar doesn't take any chances. So we'll have access to those Roaches. Where's eBay just now finishing up. Hellions, they threaten to dive into the mineral line. So far, Solar, he shuts down the Hellions, gets one. But remember, it's not about the Hellions, it is about the follow-up. It's about the stim timing. Stim is on the way. Again, 2-1-1 setup here in the main base of Bunny. Send down the Overlords. Does catch one. Solar never got eyes on too much that's going on. As Roaches are revealed, Bunny is aware. Now, it's not too many Roaches, as we can see here, only 6. Only 6 Roaches were made, and they can trade well against the Hellions, they can threaten them, they can pick them off, but this is not really enough to threaten the expansion and to threaten the mineral lines here of Bunny. He should be safe. Likewise, Lair Opener out of Solar. Going for +1 Carapace, interesting. It is not uncommon to see Roach openers into Fast Hive, into Roach Ultra. So I'm leaning towards that here. As Bunny, he unloads, he's locked and loaded, he's ready for what? Ready to deny a base, the base that isn't there. There's no fourth. Bunny dips in, confirms no expansion, takes down the Overlord. Where's the base? The base is being taken as the gold. Gold is on the horizon. Bunny stimming in. Doesn't break through. Does not break through. It's blow away. Does pull away. Behind this, getting into his own bio production, his own 3-1-1. So far, Bunny, he does get some tumors, but no major damage. No major damage. This time he does not deny these expansions. Threatens to drop into the main, but alas, Solar's ready for it. Solar, so far, he's ready. He defends, he deflects. He's building up more Roaches. Now, this Roach composition doesn't really scale well into a longer game. That is a concern, that we're going to be stuck on Roaches. This is why we expected to see an earlier infestation pit, which hasn't happened yet. Solar, he has the boosted economy thanks to the gold. And likewise moving out. Nice stim in, nice tank shots. A good position here from Bunny. Again, making use of the terrain. Alas, the army does come from behind. We get a full surround, and Solar, he just swallows up the army, takes down the tanks. Again, you can see just how well Roach Ravager can trade this early on. And what do we have? We have 12 more Roaches on the way. Solar, he doesn't fully saturate. He's going to be stuck at 70 workers, or stuck on 70 workers. He has the boosted economy, and it's just going for the all-in. Solar, nothing here. Solar does move his way forward. Boys are being pulled. And this is becoming crippling damage. Clouds don't quite connect. They do towards the end. And again, even though Bunny, he did have a decent start to the game. Despite that, he was not able to really prepare or even scout at the intro all-in. Just a pure Ravager. Link speed now has begun. So now getting to link speed. Now getting to +2. Yes, Bunny's trying to hold on. Solar, he's maxed. Jesus, he's maxed out. He's maxed out a Roach Ravager. Yeah, +2 range on the way. But he's trying to hold on. And we did have a crazy comeback earlier between Zoun and herO. Not wrong. But that is a lot to ask here. Solar does step forward. So the Roaches, whilst they almost got the tank, there we go. First tank goes down. First tank is full. herO has vision, whilst on the tank, the other tank does go down as well. And GG gets called, Solar snowballs out of control, and Solar takes a 2-1 lead. GG. GG, well played, Solar, who will take a lead. Again, Solar, he was able to be quite safe, quite defensive early on. Then, of course, he got into his goal base. He was able to cut workers at 70, at around 70 workers, and just committed into Ling Roach Ravager. He was able to break Bunny, able to overwhelm. And now Bunny is up against the wall. He's up against the ropes. One more win, and Solar will claim the series. And one more game is all he needs. And we'll see if we can get there. See if we can get there. As we have game 4. Game 4 is going to be on herO. Interesting. What is with all these small maps? What? Ay. Again, I wasn't too familiar. I mean, I wasn't able to get eyes on the veto process. But yeah, we're going to be letting into herO. Again, herO is the smallest, or I'd say the smallest. Again, it's small comparable to Whistles of Gold. Very small map, known for all-ins, known for rushes, known for aggression. And this is where a player like Bunny can thrive. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of herO, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, down in the series. The pressure is on the SFI back here and now to force the ace match. It is Bunny. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg for Team Falcons. It is Solar. We go. Again, just very safe play last game out of Solar, and of course that safetiness, that defensive style was turned into aggression once Solar was able to claim that gold. The gold was a big factor there to allow Solar to get away with a lower drone count and of course with a larger army. But alas, no gold bases here. Not here, not on herO. Again, the rush distance by ground is very short on this map, it's very short. As a result, aggression is favored here. We often do see a lot of all-ins, a lot of aggressive styles on herO. So our eyes are on Bunny. Likewise, we expect Roaches again. Like, we expect Roaches out of Solar. That would make the most sense. As it can be quite difficult to defend without Roaches on a map like herO. Oh boy. CSV is moving out. So far, standard opener. We did see Bunny pop off in game 1 with the proxies, but we don't expect that again in the series. Like, no shots. Even more committed variations of it with more Raxes. It's not for the near future. LCC on the way for Bunny. Bunny looking for a way in. As Bunny does peel off one Reaper. Does not quite chase the drone. Quite dancing with the army, going for the drone, and oh my god, barely doesn't get it. Flash moves there out of Solar. Reaper backs in, and behind this, do we go for the 1-1-1? Do we go for the 2-1-1? What's it gonna be? Third command. So third command center, economic build here by Bunny. So this will lead into a second Rax. But no, 3CC 1-1-1. The most stock standard build you can go for, and I believe for the first time this series. First time this series. So Bunny's being active. Giving High's just waiting for his production to really kick in. He's trying to. From here, Solar, we have yet to throw down our take of choice. The longer this goes on, the higher chance this is of just being Ling Bane, not Roach Ravager. Oh god. As we may have lost someone, hopefully everything's okay, as it looks like we have one of our casters lagging out. What? Wardy! Por favor. Por favor. Thankfully this latency is happening during a lull period. Like there's nothing happening, like right, there's no big engage. Oh, pause. There's a pause. But there's no big engage happening. Oh.
Game resumed.
There we go. As the game does resume. But hopefully everything's okay when it comes to the internet of Wardy, when it comes to the connection. And I'm sure you can join us for the rest of the series as long as like I don't know if there's like a blackout happening, things that can happen at times. It's happened to us before, true. We have a caster down, true. So Hellions are looking for another way in. So far, Solar is keeping up with the rotations. Solar, at this point, he is not going for roaches. He is going for a lair first into Ling Bane. Okay. Done with the roaches, at least for now. Bonnie is still poking, still prodding. Solar is keeping up. As Banshees, they do dip in between the bases. They come in from behind. They do distract the Queens for a moment. Queens are distracted. Hellions, they don't quite get in. Banshees are deflected. How many Queens do we have? 8. 8 Queens to defend. That is enough. Bunny is going to be zoned away. And so far, Solar's doing a great job here, just deflecting and defending, maintaining his 4 bases, now into double Evo chambers, double upgrades into proper Ling Bane. Bunny, he has yet to really hit his final or really hit his stride. He's been poking in with Banshees and Hellions, but nothing more than that. Not yet. Bunny is working towards Stim, 1-1 upgrades, building up his tank counts, and will soon move out. Again, that should be in the next minute. Ooh, as this is a cancel. Nice cancellation. Solar stuck on 4 bases. Needs to trying to keep up. Likewise, Bunny going for a split push. Let's go. We have Hellions towards the top side. We have the Bio Army towards the south. Solar is somewhat in position. we do get another cancel. Another cancellation. As that happens, Lings, they just go straight down mid. They do deny the factory. Catching reinforcements, SCV's under fire, and Bunny's out of position, is racing back home. Now, not too many SCV kills, but does deny mining time. Mining time is denied. Factory was cancelled. So it's just buying time for more Link Bane. That's Bunny does have a lot to work with. That does have a lot. As Bunny is moving in. Move forward once again. Solo going for another run by. This time Bunny's ready for it. Oh, this time Solo gets shut down. Run by nowhere near as successful. Solo sitting for the surround. Likewise, Bunny going for the Doom Drop. It picks up. Loads all jump at the Minimax. Boost into the main. Onto the Spore. Solo forced to respond. Did make a lot of Hydras. Does respond, does defend. Solo still attempting to stabilize. It's on 5 bases. Still not saturated. Working on that saturation. Keeping up with the drops so far. Bunny is expanding. Again, not going for the all-in. That's Bunny. He does consolidate his forces. Both armies about to max out. Both armies are maxing. Bunny has a little potential with this army. He's got how many tanks? He's got 6. 6 tanks, denying creep, pushing forward. Oh. And Solar collapsing the army coming in from behind. Trying to get on top of the tanks, but again, there's layers here to this push from Bunny. Okay, they crash in. They shut down a portion so far. And they force a pickup. Bunny's still maintaining his army, still maintaining these tanks. It's a better trade here for Solar. Solar, he's on 90 drones. Jesus. 90 drones. That's a lot of drones. Solar picks up another tank. Another tank goes down. 3-3 starting up here for Bunny. Bunny's still just rallying right down mid. Again, that fight earlier did go the way of Solar, but alas, there's still so many more tanks left over. Bunny can still keep this up. Still moving forward. Moving in. Solar trying to keep up. Lurkers are now coming into play. Oof, brutal connections. The locking count, it's building up. Likewise, Bunny denying some mining time. Getting 2 drones, nothing major. Oof, that's Queen's overextend. Massive big gutsy. It's only gets 2, gets 3. Just barely 2. Queens go down, and Nidus is on the way to make use of these lurkers across the map. The Nidus. He's just maintaining map control, taking more bases. Just setting up a ring of turrets here in the center. I mean, this is a brutal position. Nice abductions. Takes down 2 tanks. And Surfer Bunny just cannot expand. He's contained on 4 bases. This is better for the Terran. Catching on some of the ghosts. First could be going down. Why is Bunny getting caught out? Has to pull away. Nidus is complete. Nothing out of the Nidus yet. There we go. Going for Lurker Harass. There's not much time to defend. There's just a tower. You want Solar catching out 2 more tanks. Takes down the tanks, takes down the Liberators. At the same time, Lurkers are within range and not stopping. There is no lift, but they will pull away. As Bunny's just being torn apart. Left and right, CC goes down. He's still holding on. Still can take a fight, but the problem here is just he's contained. He's contained. Moving out is not as easy of an option. Another 2 tanks full. Likewise, Nidus into the main. Bunny, he does notice. Oh. Does notice, does boost into the main base. The Nidus will complete. Uh-oh. Nidus does finish. Lurkers, they pop out. And this was another reaction here by Bunny. Yeah, Bunny did not take this seriously enough. And with that, we do have control of the main. Yeah, Lurkers just going for the mineral line. The main Hydra lunging forward. Nice Lightning Cloud. Bunny's keeping up. Let's keep up on the front lines. Not too many Lurkers here, but now just going behind the mineral line. Some of the upgrades. So they're going to be cleaned up. So he rotates back around. So far, 13 SCV kills. Solo does make his way up the ramp, getting another tank. Solid tank. He does not trade well against the Ghost though. This entire time the Lings, they peel off into the middle line. 22 SCVs. All the workers, Pappy. All the workers. And eventually Bunny has to counterattack. Eventually, Nidus back into the main. Looks like he's going to be dealt with. Now looking to move out. So we're going for another Nidus. Solar's remaxed. And here where Solar, he has the better economy. Meanwhile, Bunny, he has the more efficient army. He's got how many ghosts? He's got 15. He's got 15 ghosts. Looks like tanks, liberators. Again, looking very defendable, very secure. Yes, Bunny's just trying to stabilize, just trying to hunker down on his 4 bases. I cannot expand. Can't even think about expanding. Happen. You know the base is going down. Last Solo out of position. The base falls. Oh jeez. Stall's full. Keep building up more upgrades. It's not gonna be pretty seeing this Zerg army just run into the siege line and rush into these ghosts, but it might just be the play. This Bunny's still not remaxed. Speak up. As we get into this, a big shout out to Peanut Butter Jesus in the chat. God, baby God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 4 gifted subs. Sorry, for the 4 subs. For subs, yeah. For the 4 months subscribed to the community. As you can tell, I'm a little bit sleep deprived. We were live earlier today, of course, with the Biggest Horror Monday. And then we had like a 4-hour ladder session, and now we're back with the Rex April Madness. So the fatigue is setting in a little bit. It's true. We're keeping up there. We're keeping up. We'll do our best. Soul's rolling in. You get the EMP. Fungal Zoo pop up. And a brutal fight here. Tanks are going down. Baileys, they do head towards the mineral lines. Actually, they chase down the Ghost. Ghost, they try to get away, but brutal connections. And these are losses that Bunny cannot afford. Solar can. Against Solar, he's had map control the entire time. Solar, he can just back off and rebuild or remax. Nice snipe on the Vipers. But Solar, he does instantly remax it with Linkbane Hydra. He's down to one Viper and one Infestor. I'll say that's Solar, he didn't rebuild any spell caches when it comes to his remax. Nice snipes. Solar, here he comes. Here comes round 2. Solar's had enough defending, had enough postering. Takes down the lib. Yo, thank you so much to King TQD in the chat. God, happy once again to the gifted sub to the community. Thank you, thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. Always. Using the support. Solar lunging forward. Just catching up the main army. Catching up another tank. And again, Bunny's on his last legs here. One more loss and he's out of the tournament. Nice snipes here on the Hydras. A lot of snipes do pop up. But the Lings overwhelm. It takes down what, 1, 2, 3 goes for the tank as well. And GG gets called. Just too many losses. Solar, he will claim the series 3-1. Advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Solar. Again, Solar, he was able to very quickly gain map control here. Bunny unable to really break through. Oh. Bunny unable to break through, unable to get any critical damage. He did have a really nice setup in the center of the map, that is true. But the problem with Bunny's setup in the center was that he was not threatening any bases. He was not threatening, or never really threatening, the 4th or the 5th or the 6th expansion of his opponents. So sure, he was able to fortify that center base, or sorry, that center area. Didn't really matter in the end. And we saw that Solar, he was able to freely expand, drone up, tech up into Hive Tech, tech up into Lurkers, and alas, in the end, Bunny was contained. GG, well played. And with that, we are getting ready here for our final series of the broadcast. We have a PvP between MaxPax and Classic. Let's go. Let us go. We have our PvP. We'll need a moment here to set that up. So Avita's on the way, so just catching up in the chat. Just catching up. Bom dia. So SS will be the hero that Protoss needs. Ah, true. SOS. But we are going on a short break. Oh. Okay, never mind. No short break. Veto's already done, and we are getting into our next series. We're getting into our next matchup here. Just for transparency's sake, this is going to be... Oh. Just for transparency's sake, this is going to be a replay cast. So it looks like MaxPax and Classic, they did have to play their matches out ahead of time. Looks like they were not available to play out their matches live, and Rexy was gracious enough to allow that to occur. So up next is MaxPax vs Classic, and we are getting ready for game number 1. Let's go. Let us go. Getting ready. We go. But again, for those that are unaware, let's switch these over. Let's catch up with the bracket as well. We have already our 3 initial matches concluding. We have herO taking down Zoun, we have a Rogue taking down Clem, we have Solar taking down Bunny, and now we have one final series remaining here at MaxPax and Classic. They're facing off in a best of 5. Here we go. They're facing off in that best of 5, and we'll see which is going to be the final player to join Solar in the semis. Let's go, as game 1 is on herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of herO, we have our Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing his new team, Team Virtus Pro. It is a Classic. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into this, MaxPax still comes in as the heavy favorite. We have seen players like herO have more dominant performances in recent times in these PvPs, but we have seen less of Classic. We've been seeing a little bit less of Classic as of late, so I'm curious to see how he does approach this. We do see MaxPax getting ready for his own economic opener, going for the low ground wall off here with the with the gateway with the Cybercore into Stargate, into expansion. Our eyes are going to be on Classic. Ooh, 2-gate opener. So Classic, he has the option to 1-base all in. 2-gate opener at a Classic. We'll see if he does commit to aggression. Otherwise, he could skip a wave of units and go for a faster expansion and try to keep up economically with his opponents. We'll see. Classic, he does have options. Meanwhile, MaxPax, oh, that is a gate expand. This is the greediest build you can go for here. That is a Nexus before the Stargate, before the Cybercore. So Hyper Greed out of MaxPax. Classic is going for the proxy. Now, Classic, he hasn't even scouted. He doesn't even know just how greedy MaxPax is being, but a 1-base all in here would be ideal. Here against MaxPax. Here we go, as this is best case scenario for Classic, especially if this is a proxy robo. Yep, there it is, proxy robo, 1-base all in. So Classic, he commits to the 1-base all in. As a reminder here, again, the Cybercore is delayed, the Stargate is delayed, the Void Ray is going to be delayed as well for MaxPax. Now, MaxPax, he does probe scout. He is aware that the pylon is missing. He knows that the pylon is nowhere to be found. Now, for all he knows, it could be a fake proxy pylon or it could be a real proxy pylon. He is yet to determine. MaxPax, he's on patrol. He will scout. Looks like he should confirm what's going on. Oh no, never mind. I thought he might barely get within range, and oh, he does. Okay. Whew. Actually, this specific cliff face, yeah. MaxPax, he does spot the pylon. This is not a full wall here, so there was no side blocker. He does spot the pylon. He confirms. He knows what's going on. Shield battery on the way. But yeah, I mean, that is a little feature here when it comes to this map, is that due to the high ground, due to the terrain, you do spot the pylon from the high ground here. Void Ray's in production. Void Ray first, not Oracle. Shield battery's done. And we have our 3 gates set up behind this. We'll see if Classic can pull this off. Prism into Immortals. Let's go. Third time today I've logged in and you've been casting / streaming back. Rest time after the PvP? Yes. Veg and then more casting. Yes. Always. It's going to be in how many hours time? In 8 hours. I want to say in 8 hours time from this message, we should be live with Code for Giants Cup. I think maybe 8.5 hours. Yeah, 8.5 hours time is Code for Giants Cup. That is our bi-weekly Brazilian tournament. So should be up for that. Should be. I will say for now though that I'm very fatigued, so I might, if I sleep in, then you'll know that it's because I've fallen into the bed and I cannot get up. I should be okay, but yeah, I've been very fatigued. as we are pushing forward. So far, again, 2 shield batteries, Void Rays, they hold their own. And the ramp is secure. MaxPax is holding. We have a 3rd Void Ray on the way, just now popping out. Does pop. Nice Classic poking in. Getting quite a nice star stepping here out of Classic. Oh my god, takes down the Gateway. Gateway does fall. Again, nice control. Going for the Cybercore. Nice force fields, but last the Prism will pick up, will save the units. Classic preserving his army. Does preserve, bearing in mind he did not make an Immortal. He never made an Immortal, just pure Stalker. Over 3 Gateways. Oh, but he gets killed out. Yeah, 1 Stalker goes down, massive pickoff. Cybercore gets sniped. Sentry falls as well. Bit of miscontrol there from Classic. And he's lost how many so far? Classic has lost 1 Stalker and 1 Sentry. Did I say 1? Losing 2 Stalkers. 3, 4 Stalkers going down. Yeah, that was not it. That was not it. Classic here extends, bleeds out a lot of his army. Now, my big concern, we just saw all 3 prismatic alignments. MaxPax did spend all 3 prismatic alignments there. A little bit trigger happy. He has 1 prismatic alignment left on the fresh Void Ray. Stalkers, they can 2-shot. They can 2-shot the army. Alas, being forced back. There's that prismatic alignment. That's just warping in the face here of MaxPax. Gets 1 Void Ray. But he's running out of steam. He's running out of Stalkers. He only gets the 1. The other 3, they stand strong. And MaxPax, he holds. He holds. He defends. No more Stalkers. Nothing left. GG gets called. And MaxPax, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG well played. Again, just very fortunate scouting from MaxPax. He was able to find the first pylon, the first proxy. As a result, he was able to immediately make the Void Ray. Remember, usually, how does MaxPax open up here? He usually opens up Oracle first. Usually it's Oracle first into delayed Void Rays. Here, because he scouted what was going on, did go for the Void Ray first instead. Good call. I do want to give some praise to Classic because he had some very nice control throughout a lot of that all-in, but we saw towards the end he did have a bit of a lapse in control, and that's where he started bleeding out Stalker after Stalker after Stalker. Up until a certain point, it was very crisp, but then things got out of hand and everything just snowballed in favor of MaxPax. GG. GG well played. With that, MaxPax takes the lead, and now we're jumping into game 2, getting ready here for that second game. We'll see if Classic can recover. We'll see. Good to hear. Maybe this will be the Cheese Fest / shorter series. I do think so. I do think this is going to be a shorter one. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm here for it. I'm here for it regardless of the length. Oh god, never mind. As we go from polar opposites here. Game 1 was on the smallest map in the tournament map pool, and now we load into the largest map. Up next, we are loading into Starchild. Oh boy. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Starchild, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing his new team, Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Trigger 3-0'd him in the Wardy event with War Prism. Needs to tighten up his defense. I would counter that by saying that Trigger, if you've been watching his games, and I'm assuming that I casted that event, Trigger, he has some of the best control out there. Like, if you've seen Trigger go through his War Prism, like, proxy robot all-ins, again, we were praising Classic earlier, but like Trigger, he has some insane micros, some insane control when it comes to like preserving units. When it comes to preserving units and pulling off that all in. So I would give more credit to Trigger there than anything. But for sure, like again, MaxPax was able to react and respond very well to the initial proxy of Classic. Once again, 2 gate opener out of Classic. Meanwhile, we have a gate Cybercore opener out of MaxPax. And Classic, does he go for another proxy? Does he go for another 1 base all in? My eyes are on this probe. Where are we headed? Where are we going? Now, based on this location, this could just be a proxy Stargate. as this is close by air. So it's close by air, so this looks like a proxy Stargate, looks like a more standard, more macro opener here out of Classic. Assuming it's a Stargate, not a Robo. We'll see. As we do scout, MaxPax, he's fully aware that the pylon is missing. And there it is. Oh, Stargate opener out of MaxPax. And proxy Robo from Classic. Never mind, one base all in. Let's go. So one base all in at a Classic. Again, based on his performance last game, I do think that he had definitely a good opportunity to pull that off. Unfortunately, he got scattered early on, and again, we did see a bit of a lapse in control from Classic towards the tail end of the all-in. Meanwhile, MaxPax, no shot, he's scatting. He makes a beeline for it. MaxPax, he scouts, he confirms, he is aware of the Robo. Behind this, we should be seeing a Void Ray. Should we just be Void Ray first here out of MaxPax? As the Stargate is done. Commits to the Oracle. Okay, last game we saw the Void Ray first, this time still going for the Oracle. This is a little bit more risky here, but confidence exuding here from MaxPax. As he does shut down the initial Adepts. Both Adepts going to be going down. Oracle across the map. And we'll see if he can catch Classic off guard. Now, this Oracle should force defensive warp-ins, and it should force some supply to be kept at home for Classic. Meanwhile, the Prism is on the way. Oracle moves out. Does zoom across the map. Oh, hello, Classic. As Classic, he got a pilot into the main base. Here we go, Classic dropping into the main as well. Already. Going for the mineral line. Void Rays in production. And does reinforce into the face here of his opponent. At the same time, Stasis, Oracle does pop off. Gets 5 probe kills. Void Ray under fire. The last shield battery is barely within range. Does hold on, does survive. Stalker gets started down, nice control. Now there's a second shield battery. As Classic does kite back. Oh, one Stalker finally goes down. And the Prism as well, and he's going to shut down the all-in. Prism goes down, denies the warp in, and MaxPax he holds. He does hold on. We had some very nice control there out of Classic, but regardless, GG, well played. MaxPax he does survive, does hold, and MaxPax takes a 2-0 lead. GG. GG, well played. Again, if it wasn't for that second shield battery at the natural, MaxPax, he was about to lose that Void Ray. It was insane how well Classic was controlling the first couple of Stalkers, but as we saw, shield battery did finish up just in time. Void Ray survived, and with that, Classic, he lost everything in the main, and that leads us into Game 3. We're on match point. And we'll see what map we load into. So far, every game that Classic has gone for a proxy and gone for an all-in like that, MaxPax has been able to scout. He's been able to scout, confirm, and react ahead of time. We'll see if that trend continues coming into Game 3. Ooh, as we load into Amygdala. Okay, another one of these larger maps. Based on the performances so far, I don't think Classic wants to play at a standard game. We'll see. As spawning in the top right hand corner here of Amygdala, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Psystorm Gaming, leading the series 2-0, one game away from winning it all. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from Atlanta, South Korea, representing Team Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Go. So we are going to be opening up. We're calming things down. And this time, the probes are back at home. Classic, he does not have anything out on the map. He doesn't even go for a probe scout, bear that in mind. So Classic is going for a much more standard opener. There is no proxy, there is no one base all in. And MaxPax will confirm. Go. Probe does step in. let's move in. It's going to be a 2-gate opener here at the Classic, a 2-gate opener into the Cybercore. We see Classic going for a later Probe Scout instead. Oh, never mind. I thought it was going to be a Probe Scout. No. Here we go. We're going for the Proxy. We're going for the Robo. We're going for the 1-base all-in. Third time's a charm. As MaxPax has his own setup here on the high ground. So gate into Cybercore into expansion. Or I should say into Stargate. Followed by the Nexus. Cybercore is done. Show us what you got. Show us the Robo. Classic, there it is. Robo is thrown down, 1-base all in. Now, what I will say, both in game 1 and in game 2, first things first, in every game in this series so far, MaxPax has scouted the proxy ahead of time. That has given MaxPax the wherewithal to be able to set up and to be able to defend and to be able to shut it down. In all 3 games, I've been very impressed with the control of Classic. His ability to preserve his units, his ability to micro forward, micro back, in both games. In the end, though, it was not enough to really carry him through that. Again, MaxPax was able to punish Classic in game 1 and in game 2 as well. This time, MaxPax, he will not scout this. This time, he does not confirm the proxy. For all he knows, there could just be a fake pylon out on the map instead. So this is kind of the best that we've seen so far at a Classic, just because it's been unscouted. As the Prism is on the way, we have 2 gateways at home and 1 across the map. So 3 gateways here from Classic. Every game so far, Classic has only gone for a War Prism. He has not actually made Immortals. Proxy Immortal has not been the go-to for Classic. It has just been Prism into gateway units, into an earlier push, as otherwise they'd have to wait for the Immortal. And here we go, the Prism is out, already going straight for the main. Again, this does hit early. The shield battery is almost done. Voider is on the way. Voider is in production. Going for the shield battery. Shield battery is going to be targeted down. And the shield battery will fall. Nice pickup. It does target me while the probes, they do shut down one of the stalkers. Oh my god. Nice control. Saves the stalker just barely. But the army is just so low. So low on HP. Classic doesn't lose anything yet. Across the map, the Oracle to get 4 probes. Sorry, 3. 3 workers went down. Again, Classic, he hasn't lost a single stalker yet. The army is low. Backup shield batteries on the way. Army gets spotted. Forward rate. Oh! Waiting with the army. Classic forcing his way in. The boys being pulled once again. Boys are being pulled. The shield battery does survive. Will support the void rays just in time. And Max actually holds. Yeah, he does hold. Yeah, strong moment here. Shield battery does provide so much support. That was finally 1 stalker going down. Did I say 1? Losing so many actually. Stick stalkers falling. I mean, again, we spoke about how low HP they were, and now they've all gone down. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for MaxPax. It's just getting better and better. Oracle gets deflected. Basically, the goal for Classic, the win condition was to try to break the main base without that shield battery, because he focused down ahead of time. But once it finished, I mean, that was a hold. Once the shield battery was rebuilt, that was a hold then and there. If MaxPax had delayed that shield battery, then maybe Classic wins. But MaxPax was so on top of that shield battery, didn't rebuild it. Speaking of, we have 4 shield batteries here on the low ground. 4th one is on the way. Classic up to 11 stalkers. Getting up to 13. Likewise, 4 board race here from Classic. Sorry, from MaxPax. Activates his back alignment. Punishes the stalkers. Oh, gets another. Gets 1, gets 2. Running out of steam. Losing another stalker. Losing another stalker. And another. He's too far away. The Prism cannot support. Takes down some of the Void Rays. That was what, 2? That was 2 Void Rays going down. But another comes in to reinforce. And Stalkers are still getting picked up here, and Classic is just out of steam. He's running out of steam, running out of army, running out of Stalkers. So let's poke in. Nexus has been taking a lot of hits, a lot of shots. A bit of a premature prismatic alignment. Zoun away. Zoun. Another Void Ray has arrived. Still dancing with the army. Oh, and he commits. Does commit. Takes out 1. Takes out 1 Void Ray. Oh god. Not worth it though, not worth it, nowhere near. Yeah, the Stalkers, they crumble one after the other, down to 4 Stalkers. GG gets called. MaxPax, he will hold, and MaxPax, he will take the series 3-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. It's been a long time since we've seen MaxPax up against pure one-base all-ins. This was more of the meta and more of the style that we saw last year and the year before that, and the year before that as well. In recent times, this is more of a rare sight. We've seen time and time again a lot of the other top tier Protoss players approach MaxPax in a different way. I'm referring to Showtime, Skillus, herO, Trigger, even Zoun. A lot of them do go for these more economic builds, even Creator as well. It's more of a rare sight to see these committed one-base all-ins, just because we've kind of moved past that in the meta of PvP. Classic, he goes back to it, and there was definitely some strength there. Definitely, as I mentioned before, like there were definitely strong moments when it comes to his micro, when it comes to his control, but alas, in the end, it did feel quite, it did feel like each time Classic was on a timer, where Classic, he was trying to end things as quickly as possible early on. We spoke earlier about how here, at least in this most recent game, he was going for the shield battery. He did target it down. He was controlling really well, and his goal was to try to break the Void Rays before the shield battery was rebuilt, but he wasn't quite able to, right? He barely didn't snipe that Void Ray. Shield battery finished up just in time, and with that, MaxPax, he held. Did hold on. GG, well played. With that, let's catch up on the bracket itself, and let's catch up on the rest of the next broadcast. Here we go. From the top, we have herO. herO took down Zoun 3-1. That was a solid series. I mean, I'm still shocked by game 2. If you missed out on the series, I recommend it. Game 2 between herO and Zoun on Killer's Mile was crazy. Like, I can't believe that herO won that game. Like, that was like, that was insane, an insane comeback. So do recommend the VODs for that series. Likewise, Rogue versus Clem. I mentioned this before. Clem, he was uncharacteristically passive, or yeah, I think I would go as far as say passive here. We didn't see the expected more aggressive builds that we're used to seeing from Clem. At most he went 360-2-1-1, but outside of that he was going for more economic openers, and Rogue was a lot more comfortable in that series, and we saw that once Rogue got comfortable, once he was able to embrace lurker tech, that he did pull Clem apart. So impressive performance there by Rogue, and alas, not the aggressive Clem that we're used to seeing in this matchup. With that leads us into our next series, Solar versus Bunny. Solar did claim that series over Bunny in the end. It was also this was a more dynamic and more aggressive Bunny here, which is kind of like, it was almost like Bunny was playing the way that we assumed Clem would have played. But Bunny was not quite as successful here. He did take a map, but did not take the series, as Solo was able to claim that in the end. And then we have MaxPax with a 3-0 over a Classic, a very short series, nothing but one-base all-ins. And not just nothing but one-base all-ins, it was the same build. It was Proxy Robo, 3-gate setup, no Immortals, just pure Stalkers. So the same build 3 games in a row from Classic, did barely fail each time. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have our semifinals ready. We have herO, Rogue, Solar, and MaxPax. Best of 7s all around. And we're going to be wrapping up this tournament in 2 days' time. We just now finished day 1 of the playoffs. Day 2 of the playoffs is going to be in 2 days. Actually, I got you covered here with our schedule. Bam, there you go. We just wrapped up with our Tuesday evening broadcast of the Rex April Madness. You can see here on the schedule we have the Wednesday morning broadcast up next. That's going to be at 7:30 a.m. KST. That'll be at 8:30 a.m. AEST. That'll be in 8.5 hours. 8 hours. In 8 hours time, we're going to be live with Code for Giants Cup. We have the podcast thereafter, Wednesday evening. We have Total Tussle Thursday morning, and we have the final day of the Rex April Madness Thursday evening. Here we go. That is going to be, of course, the conclusion of this tournament Thursday evening. Likewise, we have StarCraft Evolution League on Friday, and on Saturday we have some Firebird Cup playoffs on Saturday. We have Kung Fu Cup, we have STC, we have plenty of content to cast today every single day. Someone mentioned earlier in the chat, of course, that I have been streaming a lot more recently as well. Yes, I've streamed 3 days in a row, I think. I don't often stream, I don't often have time to stream. Partly because of this, like, I'm very fatigued. I usually nap in between casts. I usually sleep for like a couple of hours, but recently I haven't been sleeping. I have been streaming and laddering instead because I'm trying to get back into shape for a potential show match. So trying to get back in shape, and it's been fun, don't get me wrong, but also very tiring. gonna pass the hell out, Bobby. Gonna pass the hell out. So if you are curious to tune into my ladder escapades in recent times, you can follow me on my own personal channel. I do not stream too regularly, but recently I have been trying to ladder on a daily basis. I should be able to ladder tomorrow after Code for Giants Cup. Usually it's after the cast. After the morning cast is when I've been laddering, and I only ever ladder on stream. I've never actually laddered off of stream, maybe like once. It's just not really a common thing. But yes, that is going to be available if you're interested. Otherwise, plenty of content here. Again, we cast more than any other channel out there. We are live twice a day, every single day. This week we have half a day off. That is usually the minimum that we're looking for, is half a day off. Technically, I could cast twice a day, every single day, but we want to slow things down a little bit. You know, we want to have some time to ourselves. Friday evening. But yeah, with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. And we'll see you guys most likely later on tonight here, or later on this morning for Code for Giants Cup. Let's go. Just catching up. Just catching up. Vuelve bien, papi. Thanks for the class. Thank you. Badge time. But yeah, with that, thanks for watching, thanks for support. We're going to be heading off here for the time being. I should be casting Code for Giants Cup in the morning, but I might end up sleeping in. We'll see. I shouldn't, but there's a possibility of that happening. Regardless, we should be okay. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid who is live at the moment. Who is streaming. I see Lamber. True, I see Lamber. He is live. I think I saw Harstem as well. Who else is streaming? Oh, Miguelito. And Mr. Sadzak. There's a lot of people, actually. A lot of people live today. Do I see anyone else? You got options. We'll find someone. So with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft action. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. Also, if you want to support us, I haven't mentioned this in quite some time. Patreon, exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. You can help fund our tournaments. 100% of the money on Patreon goes towards the players, by the way, and that does help fund our regular weekly and monthly tournaments. So Patreon is a place to be. If you want to help support StarCraft, you can support us there via Patreon. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft. Until then, hasta luego, ciao, papi, ciao, hasta luego.